call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
A little light drizzle out there this morning to get us all rolling. It'll be a little bit warmer today, right?
Yes.
Not a ton, but a little, so they say. Better than yesterday.
Yes.
All right, we have a bunch to get to. And, Davey, am I correct in saying that you have Robert Smullen on Friday? Is it Friday? Boy, I can't wait to talk to him. Did you hear what happened? I can tell you didn't. You'd be talking about it.
No, I hit it in the top of the hour that Constantino.
Shocking.
Yeah.
This is...
it's not a shock to me. Whatever happened with him and Giuliani there.
Oh, so Giuliani's like, you got to get this guy. He reminds me of you. Oh, my God. Does Giuliani know that every Republican county chair, I believe has endorsed Smullen? Smullen is a military veteran.
Yep.
Who has served his country, has served under George Bush, and was in some way a part of the administration, and Constantino is the reason Elise Stefanik didn't get the ambassadorship. He is one of the causes because he created such a fiasco here.
Well, isn't this blessing, I'll say, turning into kind of the kiss of death?
Well, you wonder how much weight Trump carries. You'll find out. I think what this does is okay. So there's some polling out. I gotta see who did it's McLaughlin and Associates. Yeah, it's a private poll. I don't normally put much stock in those, but nonetheless, where was I?
You were talking about the. Smullen being part of the Bush administration.
Well, I mean, Constantino was fighting with everybody.
Oh, the Stefanik thing.
He got into a fight here. He got into a fight everywhere, threatening to sue everybody. I guess that does sound a little like Trump, but he's off the rails. And I get it. I mean, he keeps saying, Donald Trump loves me, and Donald Trump doesn't know him. But he's endorsed him. To me, what this does is give Jen DeBean a clear path to win.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I do
Who's
think
the
it's
Democrat, if you're not following along here?
Possible that Smullen would win the nomination. I still think that's possible, especially if upstate voters respect his service.
Well, and understand what they're dealing with Constantino. I mean, wow. Listen, I'm very interested at what people think about this. This is the guy that we want to represent this guy would be in control.
You're saying we. We didn't do the endorsement.
This is the guy that we want representing Griffiths and Fort Drum. Oh, my God.
It reminds me of when we had Robert Smullen on, we talked, and he was very critical of what Constantino was saying on social media.
Well, he called him a coward,
But I had said to him, what about, President Trump, who you're very loyal to, is also very, I don't remember how I phrased it, but he's kind of wild on social media and says things and isn't respectful. And his answer was, well, Anthony Constantino, this and... I think if you remember, there was a follow-up.
Answer the questions.
There was a follow-up to that as well. So, I wonder, I think Smullen was trying to be loyal. He didn't want to give any criticism toward Trump, and I wonder how he feels about that now.
Well, he's got to win a primary at this point.
Which I think he could. I really do think he could. I do think there are certain things that regardless of the endorsement, Anthony Constantino says and does that put off people in the Republican Party, and we talked about Smollen's service. So it's certainly possible that he could win the endorsement, but win the nomination. But that's a huge endorsement.
That's a biggie.
I'll be curious to see, though, as Beth pointed out.
What weight does it carry?
It doesn't carry the weight it used to.
It didn't in Virginia last night and yesterday. I mean, the Virginians voted to basically gerrymander and answer Texas, something that Republicans and President Trump lobbied hard against and getting everybody out to vote. And once again, in another...
Be careful what you wish for.
In another election, once again, all of a sudden, the Democrats come out slightly on top when people thought it wasn't going to... I didn't think it was going to end that way. So it'll be interesting. And as you say, be careful what you wish for.
Yep.
The poll that is... which I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I don't put a lot of credence in the private polls. You're basically paying to have somebody do a poll. Now, those polls, I've done them in campaigns. Sometimes they don't come back really, really well, and you would never release that. But when they come back strong, and this shows, and again, this is I believe this is Smollen's poll. It shows him leading Constantino by 10 points, 43-33.
Oh, that's significant.
And that was in April. Currently, Smollen receives a 47% favorable to 12% unfavorable rating. Constantino's unfavorable rating increased from 18 to 31%. Another 44% are favorable towards Constantino. 21% have no opinion, and just 4% have never heard of him. He's been advertising for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, this is a private poll. So take it for
I don't
what
know
it's
what
worth.
to make of that either.
But the other part of this is, I think it really opens the door for the Democrat, who is the farmer, Gendabine. It really opens his door right now. And you notice he's kind of staying quiet a little bit and letting everybody fight it out. Now, how does Smollen react? We'll find out on Friday. That's going to be very interesting. And the other part of this is, we asked Smollen, you're getting all of these endorsements. What about money? We haven't seen a single commercial. I haven't anyway. For Smollen. So, man, you got to get out there, because it's certainly down here in the Schenectady area, Amsterdam area, wherever this district completely goes, and it's a large district. I think the people out east, closer to Albany, know who Smollen is, but here, not a lot of people really know Robert Smollen.
Have you seen Constantino commercials?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen any.
Yeah.
I guess I don't watch enough television, which is probably
That's
a good
not a bad thing.
They're all over the place.
Wow. You know what?
And they have been since January.
I'll say this. I wonder if that plays into the strategy or the reasoning behind Trump's endorsement, to say, look, the party doesn't have to throw a bunch of money at this race. We have a candidate who's willing to self-fund. Yeah. He's out there already. I wonder if that played any role into it.
I think that Giuliani probably played a pretty big role. And, Giuliani, what is he thinking? I mean, it's like the first person that got to him. What is he thinking with that endorsement?
I'm sorry to go down this road. Is it illegal for money to exchange hands for a political endorsement? Is it officially illegal?
I don't. If you want to make a donation to a campaign and then you end up getting an endorsement, I think that's perfectly legal.
For Constantino to pay.
I don't know the answer to that.
Because I don't know. Rudy Giuliani, the New York mayor, 9/11 and all that, and he was a hero.
That's a different Rudy Giuliani.
It's a different person, and I don't know what.
We'll hit more on this coming up. I'd like to know what people think. 315-736-0186. I'd like to know what Ray Stajic thinks about this weather. We had Ray. There's a transition for you that will hurt your neck.
Ray, would you take money for a better forecast? If we threw you $100, can you throw some more sunshine and warmth?
Oh boy! The first thing I did, I was like, boy, it's been kind of interesting the last 7 to 10 days, it was like we've had snow, then we had warmth, and now we're back to like clouds and cooler, more seasonable. And then I was like, well, maybe in the future there's a little bit of hope. No light 'tis yonder window breaks. I don't see
Really?
a lot of sun. Maybe a little bit. I think tomorrow and Friday are going to be real nice days, close to 60 degrees. We're really going to see some great weather. Overnight was a little chilly. But then as we get into the weekend and next week and we get into May, I see a lot of opportunities for clouds and showers and cool weather. I don't see any big warm-ups. So it does stay a little bit unsettled. Certainly not, uncovering the pools and being aggressive about that move. Even on the area lakes, too. It's people getting out there, but it's still a little chilly as people get ready to get their boats out of winter storage and kind of get ready for the summertime things as we head into the month of May, especially.
Well, and people are getting. I have a neighbor who just opened their pool, and there is a philosophy, and I do this every year also. You close cold, you open cold. Your water won't be as green and terrible to deal with. So, you want to open early, and you're not going to be swimming, but at least it's open. So,
it's still April. Yeah. I think when we get these warm-ups, we kind of get a little false hope that, hey, you know what? Maybe it's almost summer and I can uncover the pool, or I can get ready to do a little bit more aggressive boating or anything like that. But April 22nd, we've still got 8 days to go in this month, and then we get into May, and we know how it goes up here. We get toward Memorial Day, and that's when people really start thinking about summertime. So we got quite a ways to go, but probably close to 60 or within a few degrees of it right through the weekend and early next week. Monday, we might be a little bit milder. Same thing Tuesday before that next front comes in. I really think starting about Tuesday, Wednesday is when it really starts getting kind of cruddy, for lack of a better word, where each day, right on through the first couple of days of May, you at least got some showers. Not going to say it's going to be cloudy and raining every day of those days, but it does look a little bit kind of, I don't know, what's the best word? Dreary?
Dreary, yeah. It looks dreary right now,
I'm sure other people got other words for it, but we can't say those here. So.
I know one that starts with an SH.
Yes, that might be the one.
Yep, I was thinking about that. So basically, low 60s, upper 50s. Monday, maybe we might even hit close to 70 on Monday. But other than that, it and Ray, today's Wednesday. This forecast is going to change 3 or 4 times before we get there.
Right.
But it does seem like, boy, what a beautiful day. This is what we're going to be talking about. What a beautiful day last Saturday. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, tomorrow and Friday actually look really good. So should be a lot of clear sky, a lot of sunshine. 60-40 for the high-low split the next couple of days. So today, a lot of clouds. The showers are done. Still might be some damp streets around, but the rain's done for today, though, too. And
I'll tell you, Manaski here is a baseball umpire. And you can live with 60s, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Snow in 30s?
Absolutely. I had one yesterday. It was wore the jacket, but
yeah.
chilly.
Yeah, once that sun sets, too, it cools off pretty quickly still, even this time of year.
It does, yeah. All right, Ray, we appreciate the news. It isn't all that great, but we appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks so much. Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel. I'm going to ask you with an update on news.
Good morning, Bill. We have cloudy skies and 42 degrees at 6:36. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says he welcomes the extension of the U.S. ceasefire with Iran. His spokesperson says that it's an important step toward de-escalation and the creating of critical space for diplomacy. In an online post Tuesday, Trump said the U.S. will hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. FBI Director Kash Patel says he doesn't get drunk on the job. He got into a fiery exchange with a reporter on Tuesday when questioned about an article in The Atlantic alleging excessive alcohol use. He's suing The Atlantic for defamation, asking for $250 million in damages. Service members no longer required to get the flu vaccine. The Pentagon now views the flu shot as a voluntary measure rather than a strictly required annual mandate. Bill, how about this story? The United Kingdom is banning smoking for anyone currently 17 and younger. Now, when you hear that lead line, you might think, yeah, well, if you're under 18, you can't smoke.
Yeah.
Get this. The so-called Tobacco and Vapes Bill has passed Parliament, which makes it illegal for anyone born after January 1st, 2009 to ever buy cigarettes or vapes.
Is that proposed?
No, that's passed Parliament.
Wow.
How are you going to enforce that?
When you go to the store, unless you're already...
You won't be able to buy it.
Yeah.
Right? There's a big uptick.
What is the point of that?
There's a big uptick in Europe in smoking. Paris is a place where all the young 20s, 30s, everybody's smoking on the streets. It's crazy, but there's a bit of a comeback for smoking. But how do you ban it
for life?
Yeah, I find that to be United Kingdom. Okay, all right.
And Bill, I know you're a Jeopardy fan. Well, Jeopardy.
He won again last night.
He's still going.
He is at $770,000 right now.
The Jeopardy universe is growing. A new sports edition of the show is now in the works for Disney Plus and Hulu.
Okay.
ESPN Jeopardy is what it'll be called, featuring ESPN talent playing for charities of their choice with a chance to win a $500,000 grand prize. I thought this was you bring a couple sports fans on.
Well, what they've also added is Jeopardy, the Jeopardy Bar Edition. So they're starting, like you go and you have pitch night, or you go and you have trivia night at a bar. There's a whole movement, and they're starting a league, if you will, where they play Jeopardy in bars. That's underway.
So I've got in on the Jeopardy phenomenon that you've been talking about. That guy's amazing.
You watched it,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday's was close, abnormally close.
And Monday's was a little bit too.
But at least he when you get to Double Jeopardy and they can't catch him. Last night, they could have caught him, and they didn't.
And isn't one of the hosts now one of the big winners of Jeopardy? Isn't
that's
that how he gained his fame?
Yeah, Ken Jennings.
Ken Jennings. So it's that's wild.
I like how Smitty says he's now in on this Jeopardy phenomenon.
Well, you're watching.
The show's been on the air for 62 years.
Yeah.
You're watching
it when I was a kid.
Smitty says I'm on board.
I'm finally in. You're watching history right now.
Not a big Jeopardy fan, but I got in it because Bill was always talking about this guy. I've been watching it. I watched it Friday. I watched it last night. I watched it Monday.
Well,
I just wanted to see what this little dude was like.
Well, it's pretty wild.
Jamie Ding is his name.
Jamie Ding, yeah.
Here's Ding. Here's your Weather Center forecast.
All right, good run here as we continue to wrap up the week now, the hump day forecast, and already got Friday in sight, right? Clouds with some sun early, partly sunny this afternoon, upper 50s. Tonight, a few clouds, about 40, colder in the North Country. Thursday, sunshine, 60. Friday, sunshine, high 65. Little wet weather scattered around over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, now 43 degrees at 641.
Davey says Joe Buck will be hosting the ESPN Jeopardy. Yeah. Listen, if you have pain, a lot of people have pain, and you want to get rid of it. The Good Feet story may very well be the perfect answer. They are considered arch support specialists, and they can show you with a test fitting, a free fitting and test walk, which is free. There's no obligation. You can just walk in, and they'll give it to you, and it'll show you where your arch is off and how walking correctly, and they have inserts that go into your shoes, can completely get rid of the pain. It's really something that people who have done it, I have, say you don't even know you're correcting the problem. You're just going about your everyday life. Go to the Good Feet store, 4630 Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Gold Eagle coin. The 1776-2026 American Gold Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in the series history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today. Now is your chance to get your 250th anniversary American Gold Eagle in perfect Proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, quantities are extremely limited. This first of its kind dual-dated 1776-2026 American Gold Eagle with the Liberty Bell Privy Mark is 250 years in the making. With a mintage of just 29,000 coins, this release is a true, absolute rarity. Call 800-921-5122 now before they sell out. That's 800-921-5122. 800-921-5122.
You already love the water. Now imagine diving beneath it. If you've snorkeled, explored reefs, or always wanted to go deeper, it's time to get certified with Seize the Day Scuba. Imagine swimming alongside tropical fish and discovering a new world below the surface. With expert instructors, hands-on training, Seize the Day Scuba makes certification easier than you think. Call Seize the Day Scuba today at 315-794-7787 or go online to seizethedayscuba.net and start your scuba certification. Seize the Day Scuba. Adventure is waiting for you below the surface.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Our locally owned and operated small businesses are the heartbeat of our community. The WIBX Industry Aces stand out as leaders in their fields, like Scharf Plumbing and Drain. The Scharf family has been providing plumbing and drain services to the Mohawk Valley for over a century, offering many services, including sewer repair, repiping, water heater repair, and replacement, and more. They're more than plumbers. They're a family dedicated to getting the job done. Support one of these fantastic Industry Aces today.
I want to tell you about New York Sash and the bathrooms. This is really an exciting time for New York Sash because what they're offering could really change your home. The bathroom that you have in your home, or one of the bathrooms in your home, feel a bit outdated or just not working the way it should, now is the time to finally do something about it. Right now, New York Sash is offering 20% off a brand new bath designed for both style and function, and even safety if it's what you're looking for. It's installed in this is the biggie, installed in as little as 2 days. It's not a quick cover-up. This is a complete transformation of your bathroom, and they do it without moving your plumbing and all of that, so it can be done quickly, effectively, and beautifully. Not sure what you like? You can actually take a sneak peek using advanced design technology so you can feel confident before the project even begins. Go to their website for that, NewYorkSash.com. Worried about cost? They have you covered. Financing available for qualified buyers, and right now, 20% off. Stop putting it off. Upgrade the bathroom, upgrade the home, and do it with complete confidence because you know New York Sash is on the job. Visit New York Sash and their showroom at 349 Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro, or start the process online at NewYorkSash.com.
Hey, everybody in upstate New York. I don't know where in upstate New York, but thanks for listening to the Keeler Show. Never met this man. Don't know why I'm telling everybody to listen, but thank you very much. By the way, this is Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I have nothing else really to say to you, but I thank you for listening to me tell you to listen to this man, Bill Keeler, on WIBX.
Keeler in the morning, Keeler in the morning.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
I gotta say the news of Constantino being endorsed by Trump traveled pretty darn fast yesterday. Everybody was talking about it yesterday, and I just think it shocks people. But it shows you, I think he's not even thinking about who's the best person to win, who will be the best person for the job, who will be the best person for Ford Drum and for Griffiths, who will be the best person to beat the Democrat. Who's the person that made things so crazy that he pulled back his endorsement of Elise Stefanik to become ambassador to the United Nations and just basically ruined her career right there?
What? So you have to give me a little bit of a leeway here because I wasn't in media at that time when he was running. So what was the chaos going on with Constantino?
Just craziness.
Just,
arguing with chairman around the district. It just became so chaotic. You had the chairs that were fighting over who the candidate should be. Remember, there were a lot of candidates that were vying for the position, and then you had this Constantino going around. He got into. Were you here when he got into the fight? No, you weren't. Andrew was here, or maybe it wasn't even Andrew. I don't know who it was. But nonetheless, it was just chaos, and everybody was just. Is this what this race is going to be? And by the way, they'd be running right now anyway because it was only a special election that would have finished out her term, and they would have had to have run again. But it would have given whoever won that an advantage. Jen DeBean entered. That's where we learned who he was. But I think he has a far greater chance now to pull off a win. And I think again, it's going to be very interesting. You brought it up, and Beth did as well. It'd be very interesting to see how that endorsement works. Do people say, "Oh, Trump endorsed Constantino. That's who I'm voting for," or he doesn't know what he just did. We're still voting for Smolin.
Right.
It'll be interesting.
And I've been trying to get Constantino on. I reach out every week, Bill, and I've been in contact with Blake Gendabine, hopefully to set up something next week.
Yeah, it's been a while, but he does not have a primary, right?
He did have a opponent, Dylan Hewitt.
They got out.
Who Jeff interviewed when you were away.
Yeah.
But he got out because of finances. And then there's the independent, that guy that you work, Christopher Schmidt, that you asked, what do you do for a living? I work wherever I can make money. He's running as the independent there.
Okay. Right. I asked him what he does.
I hope that's not his campaign
What do you
slogan.
do for a living? He said, I do a little bit of this. I do a little bit of that.
Wherever I can get paid.
Wherever I can get some money, shovel driveways.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm kind of in that same boat right now. Part-time here, I'm part-time there, part-time this.
Some comments on...
What do you need done? How much are you offering?
Some comments on YouTube. Jawick, surprise, everyone doesn't hate Trump. That's the fact. This has nothing to do with hating Trump. This has to do with, well, in my opinion, he's losing it. And to make this endorsement is not good for the district. It is not good for Republicans. It opens the door for the Democrat to win. And the question will be, Jawick, do people listen to this endorsement? Because this endorsement happens 2 years ago. There'd be no question, right, that Constantino would win.
I think so.
The Trump of right now is struggling a bit with his endorsements. He's not winning every endorsement. It's the first time that's happened since going back just before 2016. You think everybody does, they don't. I have never said that. I didn't say everybody hates Trump. Believe me, he has a massive following and is loved by people I hear from every single day, probably you. So I'm not even saying that. The Dems rule New York, so it will be no surprise either way. Again, not true. This is a Republican district. However, there are more independents in that district than Republicans.
Wow.
And that's a biggie.
That's a big upstate district, too.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
But let me ask Jowick this. So what did he say? Surprise, everyone doesn't hate Trump. That's the fact.
You think everyone does, but they don't. I never said that. The Dems rule New York, so there'll be no surprise. That's not true there. In New York, but in this congressional district, it leans right.
So can I ask Jowick, are you a Republican and are you going to vote for Constantino or Smullen based on what you know now?
Well, Jowick would have to be in Herkimer County or in Rome in order to be in that district.
Yeah, but let's just assume
you are in the district.
Let's just assume because
Okay.
I want to know how he's going to. What does he make of that? Because Trump's endorsed Constantino now, does that mean Constantino is someone that you would vote for, or do you feel differently about that? And it's not about hating Trump. That's kind of a surprise endorsement.
It's not about hating Trump. I never said that. I do think he's unhinged these days. Read some of the late night text messages, or what are they? Truth socials. I don't know what we call that.
Truths.
Okay.
I don't know what they call them.
I mean, tweet
Shorthand.
was so easy. Now I don't know what it's called. But they're just and some of the interviews. Like there was an interview the other day, and again, I somebody just told me this. I do not know if it's true. And in this day and age, it's hard to determine what is true and what isn't true. But you can usually figure it out. But that he said, and I don't know if this is true, but he said that if he was president in the 60s, Vietnam never would have happened. That the Ukraine war, if he was president at that time, Ukraine war never would have happened. Meanwhile, he cannot end the Iran war, and he cannot end the Russia-Ukraine war. But what are we going back to Vietnam for? Again, I'll put an asterisk on that if that's true.
Real quick on Jowick, he's responded on YouTube.
I vote for
Jowick, I expect more out of you than this, bud. I vote for who says they will do the job, Democrat or Republican. They all say they're going to do the job. No one ever comes up and goes, you know what? You couldn't find a worse candidate for this job than me. Clearly, my opponent is more qualified and would do a better job. I think I'm just going to bow out of the race. I mean,
I feel in the end I will vote, and it will not matter in New York in general. Well,
maybe that might be fair.
That's not true though. For president, maybe, and
Right.
for U.S.
For governor,
Senate, maybe.
yeah.
I mean, for president, for governor, for U.S. Senate. But once you get down into the congressional races, these are carved out quite interestingly, and there are plenty of Republicans. In fact, Republicans in the last midterm had a very it would have been 2 years ago when they had Republicans had a big upset, and the Republicans are the ones that in New York who gave President Trump the majority that he currently has. So take it for what it is. I don't know. I don't know.
He says, so there you go. They all say it. Well, but again, you just still didn't answer the question. But anyway.
Today is Earth Day.
Yes, it is.
Plant a tree. John Denver's dad, but plant a tree.
For your tomorrow?
For your tomorrow. Papa John's customer fuming over tipping reminder on their pizza. You have to remind people to tip. I'm going to tell you.
I think it's a good reminder in a restaurant, but we've discussed this before. I think the tipping culture is a little bit over the top.
Well,
you go to pick something up at the store and there's a tip jar there. It's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
You handed me a box.
Tips are something that typically you think, okay, I'm going to give you a tip because you earned it.
Right.
Not because I'm required to pay it.
Right. Although you kind of do it when you're at a restaurant.
I do.
Well, it kind of
they're serving you, though, right?
And
yeah.
when you're having something, like if you're having a pizza delivered to your house,
you got to tip.
Yeah.
You got to throw in a few extra bucks for the guy to cover gas, or maybe 10 or 12 bucks to
I'll
cover
tell you.
gas. But
I'll tell you.
Tips used to be something you earned, not something that the customer was supposed to be paying.
And now it's kind of supposed to.
Yeah.
Right? What's a good tip? Don't wear that hat again. Please. Whatever you do. Since you've been wearing that hat, they've been losing. Come on.
Here's your tip. Find a better job.
That's right.
No, I would never do that. But I don't like again, you said if they deliver a pizza to your house, yes, that person's brought the food to you. You didn't have to leave your house.
Tips
but
can
if I order and
also-
go pick it up, what did you do?
Exactly.
You took my order.
Tips can also be incentivizing speed in delivery. On DoorDash, you can tip in advance, and you might throw a couple dollars extra because you want it there and you want it in one piece.
Or like if you take an Uber.
Take an Uber
After you get delivered to wherever you're going, you have the option to tip the driver. I'm like, the car was clean.
Yeah. However,
the driver was present.
I think up here we're not great. We're not the greatest tippers. There are places in larger cities where it's more common.
Mm-hmm.
You have a doorman that should be tipped, and everybody's looking for a tip. But up here, I do think that people they just don't tip the way people might in
and sometimes
bigger
it's based
cities.
on. Your mindset can be based on what you're paying for whatever service you're getting that you're expecting.
Yeah, and when
to tip
prices are
for.
higher too. How much can you afford to tip? So I wonder if tips with prices up now. I wonder if tips are down or if tips are up. There are those who tip to the penny. So you remove the tax, you give 15% on the meal. There are those that might double the tax. Some that just put in. I'm one that just give me the final total, and I'll usually do 20% if it's good.
Yeah,
really good service. If it's bad service, the least I would give is probably 15%, and because I think there are other people involved versus the cook or the waitress because they're sharing tips for the most part. Do you do any of that?
Do I tip?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Certainly I do, but not if I'm going in to pick up the food. Not if I'm, again, if it's delivered to me, if they're serving me.
If you're walking into a counter and picking up a pizza, I would not tip there. But if you're at a buffet and somebody's serving you drinks and checking on you, that's worth a little tip.
Being seated at a table and ordering from a menu and
yes. Anyway, so there's your tip. You should tip.
One more thing. This has been brought up before
5,
about
4.
Manaski being cheap. I don't think I've ever tipped less than 20% at a restaurant.
That's pretty good.
20% is pretty standard.
Let me break. We have news coming up top of the hour. It is next.
From the WB Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran goes on the attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Hours after President Trump extended a truce indefinitely.
There is supposed to be a ceasefire, but we are getting these reports of 3 separate ships attacked in the Strait of Hormuz this morning. The third cargo ship, the most recent, reportedly has been attacked while attempting to transit the strait. It may have a Panama flag on it, and earlier, the British military reported one of its ships was attacked as well.
One of the cargo ships was damaged. Iran maintains it controls the strait while a U.S. military blockade around Iran's ports remains in effect. Fox's Matt Finn also reports from Islamabad, where a second round of negotiations was supposed to take place but didn't.
Here in Pakistan, both the president and the Pakistani prime minister have left it open-ended, the possibility of peace talks happening here.
A body's been found in the Pacific near U.S. territory. Air Force divers used a drone to find it inside an overturned cargo ship, which flipped during a typhoon that hit the northern Mariana Islands last week, leaving 6 crew members missing. The other 5 still have not been located. Now an update on 2 Americans killed when their car went off a cliff in Mexico.
The incident happened over the weekend. Mexican authorities say the Americans were part of a convoy returning from an operation to destroy a clandestine drug lab. The AP's been told by 3 people with knowledge of the crash, including a U.S. official, that they were working for the CIA.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. A win for Virginia Democrats, who could get 4 more House seats there in November after voters approved congressional redistricting, countering new Republican-friendly redrawn maps in other states.
Former President Barack Obama taking to social media, congratulating voters, saying this is what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back. The public vote, however, may not be the final word. The state Supreme Court is considering whether the plan is illegal in a case that could make the referendum results meaningless.
That's Sue Guzman. America's listening to Fox News.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
There's an empty cell on death row in Florida this morning.
Chadwick Scott Willesee received a 3-drug injection and was declared dead at Florida State Prison Tuesday for the 1990 murder of Marley Sather. The Florida man was convicted of setting his neighbor on fire after she found Willesee burglarizing her home. He beat her and bound her hands and ankles with tape and wire before that.
That's Fox's Tom Rigotti. Willesee maintained his innocence all the way to the end, and his last words telling victims, "I hope this brings you peace, but this is wrong." A musician is being mourned. Dave Mason wrote Feeling All Right, a song Joe Cocker made more famous covering it. Mason wrote it with Traffic, a band in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He had a hit in the 1970s, solo, We Just Disagree. Dave Mason died over the weekend at age 79. On Wall Street, stocks may rise. Dow futures up more than 200 points. There were a lot of winners at the White House. President Trump celebrated with NCAA champs,
welcoming more than 100 collegiate champions from different sports and universities. The president calling college sports one of America's most cherished institutions.
The athletes here today represent the very best of that grit and determination and teamwork. That's why under my administration, we're fighting hard to save college sports.
The president has been vocal about wanting to help the college sports industry in the NIL era. Earlier this month, he signed an executive order limiting college athletes to 5 years in school and allowing them only one transfer. Tony Genualdo, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, Portland and Philadelphia got even. The Blazers beat the San Antonio Spurs. The 76ers topped the Boston Celtics to tie those series. The LA Lakers beat Houston to go up 2-0. The winners in the NHL playoffs last night, Boston, Colorado, Tampa Bay, and Utah. In baseball, the New York Mets lost their 12th straight game beaten by Minnesota. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy skies, 43 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. President Trump making an endorsement in New York's 21st congressional district and the Republican primary. Trump says he's supporting Sticker Mule CEO Anthony Constantino in his bid to secure the Republican nomination. In a Truth Social post, Trump called Constantino someone who has the backing of MAGA warriors, including Roger Stone and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. The 21st District, currently represented by Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who is not seeking re-election. The other Republican in the race is current New York State Assemblyman Robert Smolin. New York State lawmakers back at the Capitol today, where they are expected to pass yet another budget extender. This would be the 6th extender approved since the original budget deadline of April 1st came and went without a deal. Governor Hochul says she's hoping to bring down auto insurance rates as part of the agreement. New Yorkers pay some of the highest rates in the country, totaling an average of slightly more than $4,000 a year, which is $1,500 above the national average. Speaking of budgets, the Utica City School Board has approved a budget proposal for the 2026-27 school year. It totals more than $310 million and includes things like technology upgrades, early literacy programs in grades K through 2, and more summer programming. A public hearing on the spending plan is set for Tuesday, May 5th. Voters have a chance to approve that budget on Tuesday, May 19th. The city of Syracuse facing a lawsuit filed by the owners of Destiny USA. Representatives for the shopping center claim the city overinflated the assessed value of the mall's property and that number needs to be reduced. The city assessed the total land value for the 2026 tax year at more than $32 million, but Destiny officials say it should be just over $4 million because the property has brownfield sites that cannot be developed. The city says the mall is once again trying to fleece Syracuse taxpayers. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Your Weather Center forecast is brought to you by CSEA. Behind every traffic cone is a worker doing a job with a family waiting at home. Slow down, put the phone down, and move over safely.
All right, good run here as we continue to wrap up the week now. The hump day forecast, and already got Friday in sight, right? Clouds with some sun early, partly sunny this afternoon, upper 50s. Tonight, a few clouds, about 40, colder in the North Country. Thursday, sunshine, 60. Friday, sunshine, high 65. Little wet weather scattered around over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 43 degrees at 7:09. All right, in sports, we begin with a couple of coaching updates. One a current coach, one a former. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel says public scrutiny surrounding photos of him with former athletic reporter Diana Rossini have required difficult conversations. Speaking to reporters, Vrabel said he had discussions with his family and his team over the pictures of he and Rossini in Arizona. The 50-year-old head coach said he spoke privately with players before addressing the media to avoid distractions to the team's off-season program. Though he has not officially confirmed a relationship with Rossini, Vrabel continues to emphasize accountability. Rossini recently resigned from The Athletic amid the scrutiny, but has denied any wrongdoing. Longtime former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin has a new gig. He's set to join NBC's Football Night in America this fall. Multiple reports say Tomlin will be featured as a studio analyst on the network's Sunday night pregame show. This comes after Tomlin stepped down as the Steelers head coach in January. He was there for 19 seasons, never posting a losing season. He led the team to a Super Bowl win in Super Bowl 43 and another appearance in Super Bowl 45. Some NBA action last night. Victor Wembanyama left the game with a concussion. Wemby hit his head on the court during the second quarter and did not return. In 12 minutes, the Defensive Player of the Year put up 5 points and 4 rebounds. The NBA's concussion protocol says players cannot play less than 48 hours after an injury, and athletes must clear multiple benchmarks before returning to game action. Game 3 of that series will be played on Friday in Portland, with the series now tied at 1 game apiece. The first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs continued with 4 games Tuesday. The Bruins began the night with a 4-2 win over the Buffalo Sabres, now evening that series at 1 game apiece. The Lightning also evened their series at 1 apiece, taking down the Canadiens 3-2 in overtime. The Mammoth secured their first postseason victory, topping the Golden Knights 3-2. And the Avalanche extended their series lead, outlasting the Kings 2-1 in overtime. Playoffs continue tonight with the Flyers hosting the Penguins, the Wild hosting the Stars in Game 3. Also, the Oilers will play host to the Ducks for Game 2.
And if you wanted some Syracuse University update with a transfer portal, Jeff, they brought in Luke Wilson for Appalachian State to be one of 3 centers that they've brought in for this transfer portal.
Okay. Going with some big guys, huh? They got a few big guys. Baseball action. The Yankees shut out the Red Sox 4-0. The Minnesota Twins, a come-from-behind win as the Mets blew the lead and took another loss. 5-3 the final. Devin Williams took the L after allowing 2 runs on 1 hit and 3 walks. He did not record an out. As I said, the Mets have dropped 12 straight games. They continue their 3-game series against the Twins coming up tonight. I hate to say this, but I'm almost rooting for the losing streak now.
Are they wearing bags?
No, not yet. It's
I know
too
they
early
were
in the
booing
season,
them last night. It didn't get pretty. If they lose tonight, they lose tomorrow. Do you think David Stearns has got to make a managerial move and get rid of Mendoza?
I'm not. It's not like I dislike Mendoza, okay, but I still don't understand why they had that horrible collapse at the end of last season. And you didn't. I'm not saying that you had to fire the manager for that. I'm just saying I don't know why they fired all of his assistants. It's not the third base coach's fault that they went 38-55 in their final 80 whatever games.
And a pitching coach.
You know, I don't know. But if they made a change, look, they're not going to fire all the players. We talk about this all the time in football. So-and-so quit on the play. This quarterback's throwing too many picks. Well, you can't fire all the wide receivers and all the quarterbacks, so you end up getting rid of the head coach. If this losing streak is probably going to continue, but yeah, I would make a change. You got to shake something up there. There's a problem in that clubhouse. Anyway, it's 7:13. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you having a hard time making it through a day of work without foot pain or discomfort with things that used to be simple like walking the dog? You may be thinking there's no way that something as simple as the Good Feet store can help you, like Bill.
My feet would just ache, my back would hurt, my ankles, everything just hurt. And I'd seen the commercial several times before I finally said, I'm going to do this. And I'll be darned if it didn't work. I feel a million times better than I ever did.
Another satisfied customer of the Good Feet store is Wendy.
Since wearing my arch supports from the Good Feet store, my back pain is gone and my feet don't hurt as much. And as I look into the future without pain, I see myself being even more adventurous, joyful, and full of possibility.
Come to the Good Feet store today for your free fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Find the location nearest you and book your appointment at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Discover your options at the Good Feet store.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-342-0393 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-342-0393. That's 800-342-0393. What do you have to lose? Call 800-342-0393. Again, 800-342-0393.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
It's the Spring Sales Event at Clinton Tractor. We're giving you the best deals of the season on all of our inventory. Thousands of used and new equipment in stock, all in one location. Get 0% financing on new Ferris commercial mowers, Massey Ferguson, and New Holland equipment. And trailers and used equipment as low as 5.49%. Restrictions apply. It's Clinton Tractor Spring Sales Event going on now. ClintonTractor.net.
Start your mornings with sharp insight and straight talk from me, Brian Kilmeade. Weekdays right after Keeler in the morning. Don't miss the Brian Kilmeade Show, breaking down the biggest stories in politics, business, and culture with the voices shaping the headlines. From Washington power players to everyday Americans, we ask the questions you want answered. Miss it during the week? Catch the weekend edition Saturday morning at 7. The Brian Kilmeade Show right after Keeler on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, so we're going to talk about some comments. We have some comments, and I want to get some in here.
Here we go.
Let me do a few here.
Yes,
Bill
go
in
ahead.
Deerfield. Constantino's unhinged. I am not voting for him. I don't care who endorses him. I think there will be a lot of people like that. Mike this morning. That Constantino commercial with Rudy is so unprofessional looking. Very herky-jerky, badly superimposed over the American flag. And Wheel of Fortune for the month of April was allowed. Did you see this? They're kind of copying the Jeopardy thing. They've allowed the people who win to come back the next night. So if you win, you're back and you can keep getting money like you do on Jeopardy. Single campaign motto for the Democrat running against Constantino. You deserve better. Those are some good ones. What do you have?
Okay, so...
and Ann in Rome says, I think President just listened to Giuliani.
Yes, I think so, too. I think you're absolutely right, Ann.
Wayne, the Mets. And I think Wayne's shaking his head as he types that.
Let's see. John Wick, I feel at the end of the day, the guy Trump endorses, maybe it'll hurt more than help. That is going on how some people treat the vote in New York. Maybe he's playing a game.
Yeah, but remember, you're
op.
in a highly Republican rural district. This is not New York. This doesn't look like New York. When you see the 21st Congressional District, people in New York or in New York City are like, the hell is that? What is that?
It's a cow.
That's a cow. That's a cow. What is that smell? That's also a cow. It's different in this district. So, Claudia Tenney, for instance, in her district, very safe Republican congressional district.
Also here we have Nick says, got to be rough going through a losing streak like that, talking about the Mets. Sorry. Joe L. 1888. Is this Joe Lode? The Great Shandy Controversy of 2026.
Okay.
I just talked to Joe.
That's got to be Joe Lode.
Over the weekend, and he believes that the shandy is not going to be out from Saranac this summer.
Well, there are other shandies out there. There's a Dell's.
Look.
There's a Dell's lemonade shandy.
Sometimes you have your heart set on a girl, and they'll tell you, there's other fish in the sea.
Nope, there's only
Joe
one.
has his heart set on Saranac shandy.
Right.
He doesn't care about other products.
Dell's, by the way, is a street vending lemonade in Rhode Island, mostly in Providence, and it is everywhere. And it's really good, but they make a shandy, too.
Also, when I talked to Joe over the weekend, I said, well, what are you going to do? And he said, I'm thinking about making my own. So,
well, it's not too difficult. You get a beer and pour half in a glass, and then till you find the perfect ratio, you put lemonade in there. Boom! You have shandy.
I don't know if I should say this. I don't want to be giving away secrets. But he said it's going to be called Joe's Loaded Shandy. It's a great name, right?
I like it.
I'm all for it.
Let me, before we do more comments, let me bring in the one and only. You have more, or you're good?
Joe commented, Dell's is good, but it's not Saranac.
Yes, I understand. And Saranac is something special. Okay. Oh. Well, there goes the Saranac. Case is gone. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for the one and only Jeremy Rosenthal on the line right now. Jeremy, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Welcome to upstate New York. Good morning.
Thank you. Is it warming up a little bit?
It's horrific.
Well, it's warmer than Monday, but we were in the 70s last week, and
I think
Sunday. We're topping out at like 51 yesterday. Maybe we'll hit 60 today, right?
We might hit 60 today.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
60. I think our low is 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think there's a day we're back in the 30s and 40s coming up soon too. So again,
yeah, I'm
terrible.
Sorry. I don't mean to flex on you guys or hang on the rim or anything like that. I'm sorry.
Listen, sometimes when you hang on the rim, the whole backboard comes down, so be careful. Be careful. We've seen some of that snow in Texas, and the grid just can't handle or whatever the heating.
Oh, there
grips.
you go. Yes,
There you go.
So there you go. You got me. You got me.
Well, listen, we're here. We know where we are, and that's all I can say. All right. What do we have this morning? An Uber. This is an interesting case, Jeremy.
Yeah.
An Uber. And by the way,
Yeah.
for those who are just tuning in, maybe for the first time, Jeremy Rosenthal is the attorney in Texas. His firm, nobody better. And he does a legal segment with us. Throw out a topic, and he kind of explains it away. Uber found liable for actions of driver who grabbed passenger's inner thigh.
Right. So you're okay. This is how bad things are with Uber. The Northern District of California federal court has set up what is called an MDL. That's multi-district litigation. There's so many cases filed against Uber for things like this.
Wow.
That the courts are like, you know what? We got to consolidate this. We're going to give you one special judge, all the cases. It's not a class action. The class action's where, everybody shares one pot.
Yes.
But this is like, you see this in things like asbestos, right? Where there's just a whole bunch of lawsuits on one specific topic and they all go to one judge. So that way, all of what's called the discovery is streamlined and all of the information is streamlined. And what they do, the parties agree, we're going to have what we call a bellwether case, which is a case that, look, I mean, you guys, Uber doesn't love it. We don't love it. We think it's a common case. And then that's going to help us figure out whether or not we need to settle these things, right? And the bellwether case, they got popped for $8.5 million. It's not a good day in court.
No, that's a biggie.
Uber.
Well,
so, yeah.
So I think, I have kids who use Uber a lot. And in particular, a daughter, and you worry a little more about a daughter in a car at nighttime being driven home by some guy. But they do have things. They warn you should check the license plate, check the driver, make sure you're in the right car or whatever. But they also have this thing where you can follow along on the ride. I don't know how much that helps, but we follow along, and so the driver knows that someone is following along, so we can see the path as it goes. But I mean, how is, other than Uber saying we're going to put a monitor in every vehicle, or maybe cameras, maybe that's the answer.
Well, they had that. See, this is part of the problem. They had that choice, and Uber said, "We're good. We don't need cameras in the car." That costs what we like to. That means that we can't hire the drivers that we want to hire. That's part of the issue. Shaky background test, part of the issue. They had a pilot program where if you were a woman, you could request a woman driver. And they wouldn't do that. They felt like, that opens us up to legal liability, although, I mean...
More than this?
Yeah.
Well, right, so these are a lot of the problems with them. And look, I mean, it's the 21st century. We were all trained not to pick up hitchhikers because of what the hitchhiker is going to do to you.
Right.
And now it's the hitchhiker who has to worry, right?
Yeah.
It's bad stuff. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm confused about this because I don't know if society has just fallen off a cliff. And I'm not saying that there was never a cab driver who never did anything inappropriate. But I mean, we now have the tracking technology. They send you a picture of the person. There's multiple ways to keep an eye on this. How are yellow cab companies not getting sued off the planet 25 years ago? Why is this something that's specifically going on with Uber now?
Okay, so that's a terrific question, and how much of a dork can I be here?
Yeah, I love it because this is a big question in New York City where they say the cabs are safer than the Ubers.
Well, okay, so think of it like this: the differences between being an independent contractor and being an employee, or what's called apparent authority. Okay. Uber doesn't want employees. That means taxes. That means taxes. That means liabilities. That means headaches. That means benefits. That means all that crap. Uber says we're just a platform, okay? But when you get in a yellow cab, you know that it's a yellow cab employee, right?
Right.
That means that company, the parent company, they can run that thing the way they want, and they have strict control over that employee. And so that's what Uber is. That's their issue here. Is they're trying to. They don't want employees. Okay, that really stings their business model. Now they want full control of everything, but they don't want to pay for it.
And half the fare.
That is welcome to that running a business. Look, if McDonald's could get away with making everybody a 1099. They would. But the law just is like, no, you have too much control over these people. They're W-2. You got to pay their employment taxes. You got to pay their Social Security. Sorry, that's how it goes. But the benefits of having employees is that you can control what they do. And so that's why this is that's where you hit the nail on the head with where the tension point is here.
And cameras in the cars, they probably feel that some riders might not want to have a camera on them. You remember these are their private
privacy,
vehicles.
Yeah.
And why are you taping me? Are you taping me for your own perverted reason? So this is all. Oh boy.
Well, the other thing too is if someone, let's say, is stepping out in a relationship,
Yeah.
You don't want to be on video
right.
taking that cab at 1 a.m. to go back home or whatever the case might be.
Here's the other thing, Jeremy.
Why would you ask a question like that? I'm kidding.
It's a good discussion. That's why.
I'm teasing. I'm a lawyer and I can't help myself. I gotta, I'm sorry.
And here's the other question about this: is how many drunk women are getting into a vehicle thinking they're safe to get home, doing the right thing. We're not driving. This is how I'm getting home, and they're vulnerable in that position. Oh boy.
Well, if I could add one more thing to this, and I've been harping on this for weeks now, my irrational fear of AI and the fact that it's taking up all these jobs. How do you guarantee absolutely that the passenger does not get groped by the driver? Well, when it's an AI vehicle, it's a robotically operated vehicle. There's nobody there to grope or harass or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you though, man. Like, I would be, with my luck, I would be in one of those cars with no driver, and then there'd be like some weird solar flare. And now, and there we go. Now I'm in Utica, right? Yeah. And I'm hanging on the door and I can't get out.
So, somebody would learn how to take over the driver remotely. Through some program.
Well, this is tricky. And so I have heard there are a lot of cases. So you're telling us there are a lot of cases.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
They've had, and that's the other problem, one of the other issues. They don't have a no tolerance policy, right? And so when you go in front of a jury and you say, no, it's 3 strikes and they're out, okay.
Yeah.
That's just not the right answer.
Now,
So,
does this change Uber? Does this lawsuit force them to say, boy, we got to look in the mirror here. We got to do something.
It has to. It has to. Look, and Uber right now has taken what you would call a scorched earth approach, meaning that Uber is they're fighting this tooth and nail. But they've had some mixed results. They have had some verdicts in some of these bellwethers that have been a little more favorable than this one. So I still think that these cases are all sort of individually unique. But yes, I mean, this is a PR black eye. And look, I mean, why would we not have a zero tolerance policy?
Yeah.
Why? What reason on the planet? And look, it's look, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. False allegations happen. But look, I mean, you can't take chances like that. I mean, you can click a button and say whether or not your driver was too chatty. They'll ask you that.
Right.
Okay, but grab you on the on the whatever.
And
there's no button for that.
And Jeremy, that is of the worst. That is the best case scenario, right? He only grabbed her. I mean, look at what else can happen in a world of where sex trafficking and everything else is. I mean, it is pretty scary. So anybody hearing this story today who is a father or a mother and is calling their kids saying, "Hey, remember I told you to take that Uber? What about a yellow cab? Or find another way? Or don't ever get in the Uber alone?" Or, I mean, gotta wonder. Nothing seems to be safe. That's terrible.
You got to like FaceTime a friend while you're in the vehicle or something.
Yeah. All right. Okay, Jeremy, thanks for making us uncomfortable.
Anytime.
All right. Have a great week. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I have to
Jeremy
laugh
Rosenthal.
because it sounded like Jeremy gave one of these scenarios and he said, "What if and then I ended up in Utica. Like it's the Twilight Zone here or something."
Yeah, and it's only 35 degrees. Oh, boy. The Enceras Flooring Outlet team has years and years of experience. I've been saying this for a long time. If you're buying flooring, why would you go to a store that sells grills or wood? I'm not pointing. I'm not directing you in any certain area. I'm just saying you'd go somewhere where they are experts in flooring, where they have the best selection in flooring, where they have the best buying power and the ability to give you the latest and greatest products and selection. That is Enceras. Jason, Alan, Fran, some of the people that are the flooring specialists. They have over 100 years of combined flooring experience. Sam Rudolph, Enceras store manager, he might have 100. Probably not 100, but he's been in the industry his entire life. Same thing with Sal. Talk about experience. It's experience that you're dealing with at Enceras. And you see the greatest inventory. See why people buy from the big store. Enceras Flooring Outlet, River Road, Marcy, EncerasFlooringOutlet.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Veterans, you and your family know all too well the many hardships that challenge your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. The Good News Foundation invites you to a free fellowship group of veterans. This get-together is run by retired Army Chief Warrant Officer 4, Richard Smith, the author of Camouflage Christian. Check out Veterans for Worship the third Wednesday of the month from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Good News Foundation, sharing faith, offering hope, and serving others.
We have mostly cloudy skies and 43 degrees. Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:36. This update is brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. A 2-week ceasefire with Iran that had been slated to expire today is being extended. In a Truth Social post on Tuesday, President Trump said the U.S. will hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. The president also said the U.S. naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz will continue. Former President Obama congratulating Virginia voters after they approved a redistricting referendum that would allow Democrats to redraw the state's congressional maps. That referendum was designed to give Democrats a 10-1 advantage in the upcoming midterms. Obama took to X last night to again say that Republicans are trying to tilt the midterm elections in their favor but they haven't done it yet. He added, "Thanks for showing us what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back." A new federal survey shows worker satisfaction is plummeting in the United States. The survey by the New York Federal Reserve, released on Tuesday, shows just 10% of U.S. workers feel they're able to find other jobs. It also shows less satisfaction with job pay, benefits, and promotion opportunities, and fewer people are out looking for a job in the last 4 weeks. Harvey Weinstein's rape retrial in New York City has begun with conflicting opening statements. A Manhattan prosecutor told the jury the former movie mogul used his power to prey on vulnerable women. The defense opened by attacking his accuser's credibility, saying Weinstein had an on and off consensual relationship with aspiring actress Jessica Mann. She claims Weinstein raped her in 2013 in a Manhattan hotel room. And YouTube's likeness detection system is being expanded to include celebrities. The tech helps spot AI-generated deepfakes that might be used or be using a trademarked image. As part of the announcement on Tuesday, YouTube said it is also making the system available to major talent agencies that represent celebrities. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:38. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
All right, good run here as we continue to wrap up the week now. The hump day forecast, and already got Friday in sight, right? Clouds with some sun early, partly sunny this afternoon, upper 50s. Tonight, a few clouds, about 40, colder in the North Country. Thursday, sunshine 60. Friday, sunshine high 65. Little wet weather scattered around over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 43 degrees at 7:39. And Bill, a quick comment from the WIBX 950 mobile app. David Inlet says Trump's endorsement of Constantino, huge mistake. Huge mistake.
I got to tell you, based on the comments that we're getting, I don't hear anyone saying, well, if President Trump endorsed him, I'm voting for him. I hear just the opposite. So that's quite, I find that to be a little interesting. Davy.
Yeah.
You're all right in there?
I'm just tired.
You are. You look like it. I mean, it's so hard to win as a New York Yankees fan, isn't it?
We looked pretty good last night against Boston.
Well, and listen, there was a Mets fan. This is one of the more boring parts of the season. And, Jeff and I just go to bed. We get all the sleep we want. That's the benefit of having a team that you know is going to lose.
Yeah.
You see the game's on, you just go to bed.
Yeah.
And then you wake up, middle of the night, in the morning, you realize, yep, they did. They lost.
Read about the collapse tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have to stay up late to watch it now.
Watch it. How Micah's free money question of the day is worth?
$200.
Oh, I thought the price changed. Weren't we going to do a key to the bathroom at Proctor Park?
Wasn't that on the line today? That's right. That's right. You get your own porta potty to bring with you to the parks in Utica. $200 and Jim Brewer tickets on the line. You'll have a chance to win if you're the correct caller. When the correct caller is what?
7.
Seventh caller right now for $200 and a chance at Jim Brewer tickets Sunday night, Stanley Theater. Go to Ticketmaster.com or the Stanley box office. Caller 7 right now at 315. Great question. 315, just like every other day. 315-736-0186 right now at WIBX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-342-0393 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-342-0393. That's 800-342-0393. What do you have to lose? Call 800-342-0393. Again, 800-342-0393.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Gold Eagle coin. The 1776-2026 American Gold Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in the series history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today. Now is your chance to get your 250th anniversary American Gold Eagle in perfect Proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, quantities are extremely limited. This first of its kind dual-dated 1776-2026 American Gold Eagle with the Liberty Bell Privy Mark is 250 years in the making. With a mintage of just 29,000 coins, this release is a true, absolute rarity. Call 800-921-5122 now before they sell out. That's 800-921-5122. 800-921-5122.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, River Hills Properties is all about service and the services they provide to you. The extra stuff. Your listing agent is there every time the house is shown. They just don't let people roam through your house with another listing agent who's never been there. Your listing agent is on top of it. There's the book, 40 to 100 pages, filled with everything there is to know about the home. And you know that's the River Hills way. And they have offices all over upstate New York, Barneville, Little Falls, Utica, Copenhagen, Newport, Rome, and of course now in sunny Florida, Sarasota, Naples, Marco Island. It's the River Hills Properties South team, ready to take care of those snowbirds who want to live here and there, or maybe you're just getting out of Dodge and you're done. Call River Hills Properties, 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Andy is in New Hartford. Good morning, Andy. Good morning.
Morning, Bill.
All right, Andy, you know how this works. You're going to have, it's $200 too on the line. You're going to have 7 seconds to answer the question and get it in there, and it's $200 plus. Jim Brewer is performing at the Stanley Theater on Sunday night. In fact, Beth, you have...
yes, we bought tickets just when they became available. Yeah.
And you'll be in the running for a drawing now, because you're in. On Friday, one of 5 will win a pair of tickets to that show on Sunday night. All right? Okay.
All right.
All right. This is from the Hobeika Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobeika. For your legal needs, call 315-724-1600. And here now is your question. And I'm looking for, just to let you know, I'm looking for a number. Only a number. If you give me a name, that's not going to work. I need a number in order to get the correct answer. And here's the question. What numbered highway separates Albany from the Hudson River? Ready, go.
20?
Is it? Yeah, 20's east-west. Yeah, 20, of course, is in Albany. That's over by the mall. So the Northway, really, what's the number? Is it the Northway? What's the number of the Northway?
Is it 95?
It is not 90 or 95. It is 787.
Oh, yeah, I never would have got
that. Yeah. Well, I drive out there a lot, and I see it all the time. So.
What is it that you take from Albany to Plattsburgh? I used to take that all the time. I don't even remember.
That's the Northway.
Yeah,
and
that's the Northway.
787.
Oh, is it?
I think so. I think the Northway is 787. I don't know, but the number is definitely 787. All right, we're going to give you movie passes, Glenwood Movieplex, Rome Cinema 8, great place to see your movies. And you're in the running. We'll draw Friday for the Jim Brewer tickets, all right?
Okay, thank you, Bill.
All right, Andy, stand by. Davey's going to get your information. Hopefully you're a winner on Friday as well.
With what I was thinking of, the Adirondack Northway is I-87.
I-87. 787 is, boy, if you drive through that area, like we'll go through there when we're picking up the train and parking in Rensselaer. So, I mean, that is an engineering marvel when you look at where those tall highways go, and it's an off-ramp, an on-ramp. Over here, you're going, it's unbelievable.
You call it a marvel. I have a different word for it.
Well, it can get confusing. You don't want to fall off it either. You fall off that thing, you're going down. Yeah, and that highway is, as you get on the highway there, is 787. Okay, Manasseh, you have some stuff.
Well, I was going to mention, let's see, a couple comments here on YouTube.
A lot of comments this morning on the president endorsing Anthony Constantino and not Robert Smullen. Very bad for us. This puts this Constantino character, who has just been in my opinion, a disaster. It puts him, I mean, can you imagine? He would be covering, as congressman, he would be covering Fort Drum and Griffiths.
And us.
Or at least those in Rome and Herkimer County.
Ja Wick says, I feel in the end, the guy Trump endorses, maybe it'll hurt more than help. That's going, that is going on how some people treat the vote in New York. Maybe he is just playing a game better than his op. Oh, is this that five-dimensional chess again?
Sorry. I'm not there.
Bill in Deerfield, Constantino is unhinged. I'm not voting for him. I don't care who endorses him. And David Inlet calls it a huge mistake. Huge.
What does Elise Stefanik think about this?
I know.
It would be nice if Elise came out and said, but I don't think she has the bravery to do it. If she came out and said, I am endorsing Smullen.
Oh, that's interesting.
This gives the Democrat, Jen DeBean, and again, this is if, I think the best person to go against the Democrat, who is a good candidate. I got to tell you, he's a good candidate. He's a farmer, very well liked, and logical, not crazy, weird.
Yeah.
I think he's a good candidate, and it's going to take a good candidate to beat him, and I think the best shot is Smullen.
Yeah, so you're saying if this results in Constantino winning the Republican primary, you think it aligns well for Jen DeBean?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Okay, and then the bathroom issue. I think we're on the same page on this Utica Parks bathroom issue.
I do. While I certainly understand the concern about drug use and other things that could go on in the bathroom there, I do think it's important to have the bathrooms open. And I'll give, maybe this is kind of an off-the-wall example, but I mean, if you have people at the park using the park, walking, biking, frisbees, playing catch, the dogs there, well, what if you got to use the bathroom, and whether you're a teenager, a child, a grandparent who takes, or a parent, is the other option, well, look, I have to go, so I'm going to go and pee by this tree. And then I just think you open up the possibility for exposure, like literally indecent exposure in a park and things like that. So I want to share this. Katie Aiello posted a Facebook video on this where she's kind of saying it. Some of what she says is very tongue-in-cheek, and I think I agree with a lot of the points that she made in the video.
Wow, you're agreeing with Katie.
I do, and I think sometimes she does make very relevant and good points.
Fair enough.
I was sent this by councilperson Sam Testa. She says, here is the park bathroom schedule, which is not anything new on it. I just want to give you an idea here. Here are the current restroom hours for city parks. Please note the bathrooms are also open during scheduled sports and park events. Open during regular park hours. Now, this is Proctor Park. April to August, it's open 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. June to August, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. O'Connor's Park, it's open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, that's open seemingly all day. She gave him several examples. Buckley Pool, and now I would expect that bathroom to be open for sure. If the pool's
you'd expect
open,
it not to be open if the pool isn't open.
Correct.
Yes, that place.
She says this is in addition to every event that the city has and sports. And I have a listing here, and I don't want to go hour by hour, but some of these I have to say, like Saturdays, the bathroom, well, that's Buckley Pool. Let's see, August to early October, this is TR Proctor Park, open from 5 to 8 p.m. again, I understand some of the safety concerns and issues with having the park open, and I don't think anybody's calling for it to be open around the clock 24/7. I don't think that's.
I think it's got to open earlier than June, though. I mean,
right? Like if I went to the park next weekend,
you have high school baseball and softball games.
Well, it says
track.
Sports events. It is open during sports events.
All right.
But when it's a non-sporting event, just say like a random Saturday morning,
you would hope
it's not open till 1.
Kids going out in the morning and playing baseball,
right?
Without an organized league. Although I don't know that happens anymore.
Also, Lance and Lee was commenting on this yesterday, and I don't think we got to the comment, and he's done this a couple of times, and I think it's a fair comparison. He talks about, let's see, I don't see the comment here. Maybe
I think I agree with Lance and Lee on this. If it's a bathroom and it's a city park, it should be open if the park is open.
Here's what he says. Rome locks their restrooms at dusk, and police patrol the parks to keep things safe. Yeah, I think that's fair.
The other option that you mentioned or somebody mentioned earlier was bringing in a porta potty or porta potties strategically placed. That would be kind of a good deal.
Right, because I think it cuts down. I do think that's a somewhat of a fair solution because it cuts down on if the whole idea is, they're not pleasant places. So the fact that somebody would want to warm up in a porta potty if it's cool out is not likely. There's a real stink in there. Yeah. Or the fact that maybe somebody would use that restroom as like I'm just going to say it, this was going on at the Eagle how many years ago, as like an area to hook up or something.
A sex den.
There you go. You said it, not me.
Yeah.
I think it's much less likely that would happen in a porta john than an open restroom area.
I was once when I had my Yugo with the racing stripe. It was red, beautiful car. 39.
We know, Bill. You've told us.
3995 Frank G Chevrolet. We were on our way to a Mets game with some older friends who worked at the radio station. I thought the world of these people. And she had said we're going to Shea and we're in a traffic jam, and she said, "Boy, it's roomy back here, but I gotta go." And you're on the highway and you're in a traffic jam. And I'm like, well, it's probably going to be another 45 minutes before we get out of this.
Oh boy,
and get to Shea. And she said, "But I gotta go," and she did.
Oh no!
in a cup. Now it's not easy for a guy to do it, but
it's easier for a guy to do it.
It's easier. Yeah. Well, needless to say, that she broke in the Yugo and a little cleaning after.
And Bill sold it that weekend.
Yep. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning.
Hey guys, there's a couple options. Either A, you catheter up, or Joe. How do you say his name? Joe Beatrice?
Joe Beatrice,
yeah.
Okay, Joe Beatrice. Okay, Joe Beatrice can do like he's going to do at the dog park. Give everybody a key fob. Make them buy it.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you can probably do that, but.
Yeah, you walk in the park and somebody's sitting there at a desk and they can just say, "Hey, here's a key fob for you."
But you'd have to have like at a gas station.
You'd have to have an attendant.
You'd have to have an attendant. And I'm not sure we're going to pay for that.
Yeah.
I think the best bet is probably the porta potty because someone else will be taking care of it.
Yeah, then you got a third party dealing with it.
Right, and you're
cleaning it and everything else.
Yeah. I think that is a way to kind of solve these problems. I think Jeff and I are on the same page. If you have a bathroom, a physical bathroom, and it's there, and it's a public restroom, it should be open.
Yeah. I do agree, and I understand the concerns.
During the
hours, whatever that might be.
We're not talking 1:30 in the morning. We're not talking, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Overnight, right?
11 o'clock at night. We're talking, just like a park is open till dusk. Probably.
Another thing that comes to mind is like when I was a kid, we used to do a lot of traveling for camping, traveling the thruway. You used to be able to pull off on a thruway stop, and it was basically what campers used to call bathhouses.
Mm-hmm.
And those were open 24/7 because the thruways never closed.
Right.
So that's a different same situation, but in a different circumstance.
And how about cameras on the outside? You know, not the inside, but cameras on the outside to monitor a little bit of what's going on.
Well, and the other thing is, if you're a parent, you don't want your little kid going in there without somebody going in with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, the Porta-John eliminates that possibility. You go you open the door and nobody's in there. You can send your kid in there and know that nobody's hiding behind a stall.
Correct.
Yeah, you got the red light, green light thing there.
Yeah,
but you got to make sure
red light, green light.
you got to make sure those porta potties, however, are secured, because people can tip
A
them
little
over.
kid might fall in one.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. Well, remember the old days.
So
The old
new
days.
life rules for our kids. Don't take an Uber and don't use a public bathroom.
The old camping days was a bench with a hole in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a hole. A deep hole. All
And
right,
you had
Wayne.
to
Thank you,
fight
man.
the raccoon for the toilet paper.
Yes, it was one of those. This is Mike regarding. There's no easy solution for the restroom issue. I do agree. Leave it open and potential drug use and destruction. Porta-John, unless daily cleaning, not great to use and can get flipped. That's true. How about a bathroom attendant outside the bathroom? A job for a summer intern might be an option there too. So, and then listen, we're going to break, and when we come back, I got to tell you about a Utica high school student who is going into the NFL draft tomorrow.
Wow.
Do you have this story?
I didn't know.
I'm going to
That's
throw it
awesome.
out there. Yeah, pretty cool. I'll get into the whole thing coming up in a second here. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills accepting new patients. Oh, you wanted me to take a break here? The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. I'll tell you about that when we come right back at WIBX.
Looking for a reliable ride without the brand new price tag? Then spring into savings at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer and explore our incredible lineup of Car Bravo certified pre-owned vehicles. Whether you're hitting the road for weekend getaways or just upgrading your daily drive, every Car Bravo vehicle is backed by a certified warranty and low financing options, so you can drive with total confidence. Right now, qualified buyers can take advantage of fresh spring offers, including 0% financing for 36 months or as low as 4.9% for 72 months. Plus, Car Bravo vehicles come with a 1-year, 12,000-mile warranty on over 30 different models from 13 different manufacturers. But don't wait. These spring savings won't last long. Together, let's drive to Steep Pawnee Chevrolet, where it's always easy to do business. Visit us on State Route 28 in Herkimer or online anytime at SteepPawneeChevy.com. Credit must qualify top tier through GM Financial. All taxes and fees due on delivery. Must take delivery by April 30th, 2026.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Tate Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran wouldn't talk, but it will attack. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, targeting 3 ships in the Strait of Hormuz that after President Trump extended a ceasefire indefinitely despite a second round of negotiations not taking place.
3 container ships have come under fire from Iranian gunboats without warning. This one just 8 miles off the coast of Iran while outbound the Strait of Hormuz. Another gunboat caused heavy damage to the bridge of another vessel. Before these latest attacks, President Trump said in another post, quote, Iran is collapsing financially. They want the Strait of Hormuz opened immediately, starving for cash.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House. The U.S. blockade still in place around Iran's ports. Central Command posted on X 28 ships have been turned around. Sunday, one was intercepted, taken over by the U.S. military. And there's also this news out of Iran. Another person hanged.
The news outlet of Iran's judiciary says Mehdi Farid passed sensitive information to Israel's spy agency. His execution is the latest in a series of death sentences carried out on people Iran claims were working for Mossad. On Monday, 2 people were executed for allegedly planning attacks inside Iran. Opposition groups say this is really a wartime crackdown on dissent.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Florida executed a killer last night. Chadwick Willesee, convicted of murdering a neighbor in 1990, setting her on fire after she caught him burglarizing her home. Willesee went to his death maintaining he's innocent, telling the victim's family he hopes it brings him peace, but this is wrong.
and then he was lethally injected. Former President Obama praising voters in Virginia for standing up for democracy after they approved a congressional redistricting that Fox's Madeline Rivera reports
could allow Dems to pick up 4 more seats in the House in the midterms, and that is a major shift as the GOP tries to hold on to a razor-thin majority. Democrats say the redistricting effort is a check on President Trump's push for GOP states to redraw their maps.
Republicans claim it's illegal, challenging the vote at Virginia's Supreme Court. America's listening to Fox News.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
There is another empty seat on Capitol Hill after Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilis-McCormick resigned, the third lawmaker to leave in a week, as the House Ethics Committee considered possibly expelling the Democrat, who denies and is fighting in court criminal charges, accusing Sherfilis-McCormick of stealing millions of dollars in COVID emergency funding overpayments. At the Senate, a confirmation hearing for Kevin Warsh, the Trump nominee to replace Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, whose term expires next month, after much criticism from the president for not cutting interest rates enough.
Democrats, like the Senate Banking Committee's ranking member Elizabeth Warren, questioned Kevin Warsh's ability to be independent after the president promised to nominate someone who would lower interest rates.
And he's made clear that you are his sock puppets, saying last week that interest rates will drop, quote, when Kevin gets in. Yeah, I think they do.
Louisiana Republican Senator John Kennedy gave Warsh a chance to respond.
Are you going to be anybody's human sock puppet? No, I'm honored the president nominated me for the position, and I'll be an independent actor.
But getting Warsh out of committee may be tough, as North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis said he couldn't vote for Warsh until the Justice Department resolves its investigation into the current Fed chair over building renovation cost overruns. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
House Democrats have questions for FBI Director Kash Patel.
Director Patel denies and is suing over allegations of excessive drinking published by The Atlantic. Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee call the report shocking and indicative of a public emergency. They're demanding that Patel either testify under oath or complete a 10-question survey used by medical professionals to assess hazardous drinking behavior and sign a sworn statement that he's being truthful. They want it by 5 p.m. Tuesday. Committee Republicans in a statement call the Democrats' demand unserious. Chris Foster, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising up almost 300 points for the Dow. The morning after the Dow dropped nearly 300 points. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 43 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 8:05. This news update brought to you by Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. President Trump weighing in on the GOP primary in New York's 21st Congressional District. That's the seat currently held by Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who is not seeking re-election. Trump says he's backing Sticker Mule CEO Anthony Constantino in his bid to secure the Republican nomination. In a Truth Social post, Trump called Constantino someone who has the backing of MAGA warriors, including Roger Stone and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. The other Republican in the race is current New York Assemblyman Robert Smullen. We will be talking to Smullen in the near future, I think by the end of the week. Friday morning, about this endorsement from Trump and how it affects his campaign. State lawmakers back at the Capitol again today, where they are expected to pass yet another budget extender. This would be the 6th extender approved since the original budget deadline of April 1st came and went without a deal. Governor Hochul is hoping to bring down auto insurance rates as part of the agreement. She says New Yorkers pay some of the highest rates in the country, totaling an average of slightly more than $4,000 a year, which is about $1,500 above the national average. Speaking of budgets, the Utica City School Board has approved a budget plan for the 2026-27 school year. It totals more than $310 million and expands early literacy programs in grades K through 2, upgrades technology, and offers more summer programming. A public hearing on the budget is set for Tuesday, May 5th. Residents have a chance to weigh in and approve or disapprove that spending plan on Tuesday, May 19th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is coming up on 8:08. Your Weather Center forecast brought to you by CSEA. You know, behind every traffic cone is a worker doing a job with a family waiting at home. Slow down, put the phone down, and move over safely.
All right, good run here as we continue to wrap up the week now. The hump day forecast, and already got Friday in sight, right? Clouds with some sun early, partly sunny this afternoon, upper 50s. Tonight, a few clouds, about 40, colder in the North Country. Thursday, sunshine, 60. Friday, sunshine, high 65. Little wet weather scattered around over the weekend. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 43 degrees at 8:08. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the pain continues in Flushing. The Mets lose again, their 12th straight. It was a blown save for Devin Williams. In fact, he took the loss as well, allowing 2 runs on 1 hit and 3 walks. He did not record an out. The Mets lose to the Twins 5-3. As I mentioned, the Mets have dropped a dozen straight. They continue their 3-game series against the Twins tonight. The Yankees shut out the Red Sox 4-0 at Fenway. Giancarlo Stanton led the way, going 2 for 4 with a solo home run and 3 RBIs. The Yankees have won 4 straight, and they continue that 3-game series coming up tonight. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel says public scrutiny surrounding photos of he and former athletic reporter Diana Rossini required a difficult conversation. Speaking to reporters, Vrabel said he had discussions with his family and team over those pictures, which showed he and Rossini in Arizona, embracing and hanging out in a hot tub. The 50-year-old coach said he spoke privately with players before addressing the media to avoid distractions to the team's offseason program. Though he has not officially confirmed a relationship with Rossini, Vrabel continues to emphasize accountability. Rossini recently resigned from The Athletic amid the scrutiny, but has denied any wrongdoing. Former Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin headed to the TV set. He will join NBC's Football Night in America. Multiple reports say Tomlin will be featured as a studio analyst on the network's Sunday night pregame show. This comes after Tomlin stepped down as the Steelers head coach in January. After 19 years, he never had a losing season. Tomlin led the team to a win in Super Bowl 43 and another appearance in Super Bowl 45. The NFL draft is coming up tomorrow. The Giants will have the 5th and 10th picks in the first round. The Jets have the 2nd and 16th picks in the first round. And the Bills will pick 26th overall. NBA playoffs, the Knicks visit the Hawks tomorrow. The series tied at 1 game apiece. That is a best-of-7 series. One more note in the NBA playoffs. Victor Wembanyama was taken out of last night's game after he fell and hit his head on the court. He was diagnosed with a concussion. He played 12 minutes but did not return, as I said, after the fall. The NBA's concussion protocol says players cannot play less than 48 hours after an injury, and athletes must clear multiple benchmarks before returning to action.
Do you want to bring up the Utica NFL draft connection?
Yes, this is very cool, and I've
they had an event last night at one of the elementary schools or middle schools in Utica where this kid signed autographs and took pictures with kids.
Is it?
I know. I wish I'd have gotten it earlier, Davey. I would have had you go.
Mike Williams.
You never know. This could be the next. What's his name?
What's that?
From Utica. Go ahead.
Oh well, Will Smith is what you're talking about, but Mike Williams Jr. and it's a very cool thing. And look, we wish him all the best. I know It's something that wasn't on everyone's radar because he played his last couple high school years at CNS.
Yes.
If I'm correct about that.
It's Mike Washington.
I'm sorry.
Jr.
Yeah.
President Williams.
Tell he wasn't on my radar, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, they had at Watson Williams Elementary School, they had a meet and greet last night. I believe it was last night. What is today?
It's the 22nd
it's tonight,
Wednesday.
Davey, it's today from 4 till 6. Watson Williams, you can go if you want. You never know how far this guy's going to go. I mean, it could be really, really huge. So that is, you get a chance to meet and greet Mike Washington Jr. today, 4 p.m. till 6 p.m. at Watson Williams. Pretty cool. Quick break, stand by. We got a bunch to do. And Congressman Josh Riley coming up at WIBX.
Get pumped for summer. Receive an instant rebate of up to $20,000 in clean heat ground source heat pump installation. Call City Suburban today, 315-853-3899, or online at citysuburban.com. That's citysuburban.com.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. Bring in any locally advertised price on a brand we carry. We will beat the price. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS or go to mattressexpressny.com.
Don't rely on a standard off-the-shelf security system. When it comes to protecting your home, there's a big difference between plug and play and a professionally designed system. At CML Security, security is personal. Their skilled technicians meet with you one-on-one, walk your property, and design a custom system built around your family's needs. From security cameras, intrusion systems, and smart home features, they can also add a level of fire protection to their intrusion systems. They install commercial-grade equipment and provide a warranty on systems that they install. Call CML Security at 315-866-5845 today to schedule your in-home consultation. That's 315-866-5845 or visit CMLSecurity.net. Based in Herkimer, they serve the central New York area. CML Security. Call 315-866-5845. Personalized protection your family can trust.
You know, for most of us, when it comes to health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, longevity, if you have fatigue, bloating, brain fog, well, it's not just about getting older. You know what? They can be messages that your body is sending you. That's where Viome comes in. It is a simple, at-home gut health test that uses advanced RNA technology to understand how your body is really functioning. Go to Viome.com/Hannity. That's VIOME.com/Hannity. And if you use the promo code Hannity50, you get $50 off.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Hello, I'm Oneida County Executive Anthony Pacenti. This year marks the 250th birthday of the United States, and we've assembled a special commission to help organize events across our community. In the months ahead, we'll highlight why this is such a historic time for our region. From the signing of the Declaration of Independence to the turning point of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Oriskany. You'll learn about the people, events, and local impact that shaped our nation. Our goal is simple: to help you love the history where you live, right here in Oneida County.
Keeler in the morning, Keeler in the morning.
Bobby Thompson had done it, and Yogi read the comics all the while. Rock and roll was being born, marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner, the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball.
The Mets, they really stink it.
Talking baseball.
The Mets are kind of terrible.
The Scooter, the Barber, and the Nuke.
That's the Yankees.
They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque. Especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
Just terrible as a Mets fan. We are now at 12. And I do believe, I'm going to make this prediction. Are you ready? The losing streak will end at 12.
Okay. Does Soto come back? They were saying
Soto's back today.
Okay. Well, I do feel better about that.
I almost feel like it's a mental, and you know what? Lindor hit a home run. But everybody else has got to get going. I also heard a rumor that Pete Alonso could be a possibility coming back to New York.
What?
I just heard people talking about it.
He's in Baltimore now, batting like 200 with 2 home runs.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we want that. Yeah, but he's all depressed. How could they get rid of him? Anyway, the Mets play who today?
The Twins.
Twins.
Who aren't a good team.
On the line right now is Congressman Josh Riley. Congressman, good morning.
Hey, guys. Good to talk to you. I read somewhere the losing streak was the mayor's fault.
Yes, I did read that.
I heard a couple of funny things about that. One being that Mamdani is demanding that visiting teams to Citi Field redistribute their runs to the Mets.
That's funny. That is a good one.
The team sliding so bad. I don't even know if that would be enough.
I know. It's just, I feel like the concept is I've got all this money. I'm going to spend it. I'm going to get the greatest team. I mean, we've seen it before with the Yankees, and look what the Dodgers have done. But they have all considered chemistry as a big part of baseball. This team has zero right now. It's just.
We've got the Mets AA club in Binghamton, the Rumble Ponies, and they won the Eastern League Championship last year. Really talented team, but also, I mean, that was it. It was a group of guys that loved playing together. The community really got behind them, and that's a big piece of it.
Well, and Syracuse AAA. So I mean, there's a lot of. I almost feel like at some point they got to start bringing some guys up and getting a little something going.
It's like all these guys are new acquisitions. I mean, Smitty, you mentioned Ronnie Mauricio the other day, but I mean, Bichette's at third. You got Lindor. The second baseman is, help me, I'm forgetting right now. It's Simeon, who's 35.
Mm-hmm.
We got the first baseman, Polanco, who we just got. It's like we can't trade for and give these guys new contracts and then demote them all.
Yeah. Starting pitching has been really good, but middle relief and relief pitching has been a little off. That's where we're. However, not that bad. I mean, we're only losing by a run in these games.
Send the whole team down. Send the whole team down to Binghamton for a week. We'll take them. We'll get them whipped into shape.
That would be it'd be like playing the old-fashioned Hall of Fame game in Cooperstown.
A real boost to tourism in Binghamton for sure.
It would be big.
There you go.
It would be big.
We had Tim Tebow played down here for a bit a couple seasons ago. But no, send the whole team down. We'll get them into shape, and we'll send them back up.
All right. I like it. Okay. Let's talk. Breaking news here this morning. We're learning that the ceasefire has been extended. However, Iran is attacking ships. I have a feeling the ceasefire is just hanging on by a thread. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it seems that way. My frustration with this whole thing from the beginning is that we've been presented with no clear strategy. The objectives that we've been given have shifted and they've been conflicting. And look, I approach all this stuff always with an open mind. I think when we had the operation that was very targeted and involved only airstrikes last summer, I can see all sides of the argument for that. But this war is it's just a complete mess. And the place where it's really tough for folks is you go pay $4 or $5. We're going, over $4 a gallon for gas now. I visit our farmers to try to get out to visit a farmer every week, or at least every other week. And the fertilizer prices have gone up 35, 50% in some cases. We're getting like a third of our nitrogen from the Strait of Hormuz. So folks just can't afford this. I mean, this whole idea that this president was going to put America first and get us out of these endless wars and lower costs And here we are spending billions of dollars trying to change regimes abroad instead of delivering relief at home. So I oppose it.
Well, and then I never would have dreamed that, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, I mean, all of these people are abandoning, who were really a part of MAGA, are abandoning Trump over this military issue. I just never saw that coming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a question of like, are you following the party? Are you supporting the party? Are you supporting the president? Is it because of personality or is it because of principles? And look, if your principle is that we should put America first, we should not be engaged in these endless wars, this gives you a pretty clear contrast between if you're doing that or not. I don't know. During my election, on election night, when I gave my speech after I won, I said, there are the Democrats like me who want to put America first. And I just don't see a war that's completely, as far as I can tell, has no end game and no strategy and is making life so much harder for folks here at home. I just don't see that as putting America first.
I want to ask you some midterm stuff, if we could. Sure. You have something to add to
I just want to follow up on that because, I don't think you're the only one, but I guess maybe this is more of an observation. I know Trump's whole Make America Great Again and the America First movement, I feel like it was broadly criticized by Democrats, right, because it's the opposing party. But I hear many more Democrats saying, look, you were saying America First, and I can be on board with that, even though it's kind of like a Trump thing, but that's not what we're doing here. And I don't know, is that a recent change, or have you always been willing to say, look, even if Trump's the one waving the flag America First, I'm willing to follow that?
Yeah, it's not a change for me. I mean, look, I don't really see myself as a politician. I've never held office before this. And so and the way, I'm a Democrat, I come from a Republican family, neighborhood I grew up in, people just frankly are fed up with both political parties. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of my approach to this. And so when I get an issue that comes in front of me, I'm not asking like which party put this idea forward. I'm asking, is this a good idea? And so, like if you followed my campaigns and stuff, I actually think I've given the president credit for asking the right questions about trade, for example. I think he tapped into something that was right back in 2016, that NAFTA was an absolute disaster for this country, that we really screwed up as a country letting China into the World Trade Organization. So, I give him credit for asking the right questions. I think he's had the wrong policies. I think his tariffs have been erratic and misguided. But for me, I'm always trying to look at issues on the merits and not based on the politics. But I agree with you. This is one of the reasons it's really hard to get stuff done in our politics these days, is because people come in, and if it's a Democratic idea, then all the Republicans are going to oppose it. If it's a Republican idea, all the Democrats oppose it. And there's not enough people who are willing to step back and say, let's stop defining each other based on our politics, and let's start thinking about what our community needs and how we can get it done.
I think
I'll work with anybody.
Yeah. And that is the problem the Democrats, I feel, face, is that, and this is you're correct, I think, in that this is both parties.
Agreed.
But here the Democrats have right now an opportunity where the president is not overly popular going into the midterms, and historically, it should be a good election for the Democrats. But it's easy to criticize sitting in that Monday morning armchair. But what is the plan? I talked yesterday and got hammered a little bit about the fact that the president stomped a deal that was put together on immigration reform, and when he was running, and he didn't want that resolved. We'll fix that after I get in office. And his way of fixing it, he really shut down the border. There's no doubt that he did. But it almost seems that no one wants to get anything done if it's gonna make the opposition look good. At what point do they look bad because of that? At what point do Democrats look bad because of that? And is this next line of Democrats that are coming in, or at least attempting to. Are they going to have the same philosophy you're talking about right here? America first, and not the party first.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly right. Like, one of my frustrations is that, this is, so I go around, I just try to talk to everybody I possibly can in every community. After I won the last election, I asked my team, pull together a map and show me the places where I lost by the most and send me there. And let's spend as much time in those places as possible, especially, our rural working class communities where Democrats are viewed skeptically. And what I basically hear from folks is the way, and this isn't surprising to me at all, because this is the way my neighborhood and my neighbors thought about politics when I was growing up, but I think it's even more pronounced today. What I hear from voters is what they're seeing in our politics is you've got a Republican Party that is so obsessed with Donald Trump. Like, it's almost in some ways become like a cult, and they're just obsessed with Donald Trump. And then you've got a Democratic Party that is obsessed with Donald Trump.
Yeah, right.
And this whole idea of Trump derangement syndrome, right? And it's like this obsession with, impeach him and this obsession with opposing Donald Trump. And they look at those two parties, and nobody's obsessed with the fact that they can't afford their utility bills. Gas prices are $4 a gallon. The bad trade deals have sent all our jobs overseas, and people are just desperate for a politics that's obsessed with their kitchen table issues instead of Donald Trump. And it's an opening for both parties, frankly.
It is,
to really address that. And I don't know. I kind of have my sense is both parties are potentially going to blow it, which because I have no faith in our political parties, right? But I'm going to keep trying. Like, I'm just, I even get criticized sometimes because I'm just so relentlessly focused on the utility bills and, helping out our dairy farmers and trying to bring manufacturing jobs back home. But I think that's what the folks that I represent want and deserve.
Let's stay with this and talk about the bill that you have introduced, no tax on utility bills. Talk about that.
Yeah, so this is part of a broader effort. So I like I was telling you, I go try to get out to every community possible, talk to everybody, and I never ask what's your political party. I always ask, what keeps you up at night? What are you talking about at the kitchen table? I know this idea of kitchen table has kind of become a cliche with politicians. For me, it's a real thing. I remember when I was growing up, my dad worked in the IBM factories. My mom's a social worker and then a probation officer. And I remember they would literally sit down at the kitchen table every week with a bunch of envelopes, and they would write on the envelopes. one would say school clothes, one would say the mortgage, utilities. If there was some left over, it'd be for the Whalers tickets. And I remember those conversations my folks were having, especially as the plants were closing down. And so what I want to know from the folks I represent is what are those conversations like for you? What are the things you're thinking about? And over and over and over again, it's the utility bills. People are just getting crushed with these utility bills. So I'm trying to think of every possible way I can to bring some relief on that. I have a bill that would ban foreign corporations from owning American utility companies. Talk about putting America first. I think that's common sense. Right now, all
National Grid owned.
Exactly. Yeah, they're British. Fortis, which is Canadian, owns Central Hudson. Iberdrola, which is Spanish, owns NYSEG. And what you're seeing is all these utility monopolies are making obscene profits, and they're shipping them overseas as dividends instead of keeping that money in the community. So I have another bill that I'll tell you just real quickly. The CEOs of these utility corporations right now, they get their bonuses based on how profitable the utility company is, which talk about screwed up incentives. So I've got a bill, it's bipartisan, and it would change it to say your bonus, if you get one at all, your bonus is based on affordability, not profitability, because we want to incentivize you to make life more affordable for folks at home instead of more profitable for corporations halfway around the world. So anyway, this latest bill that I introduced, it's no tax on utility bills, pretty straightforward. It's bipartisan. And what it says is all those taxes and the fees and mandates and everything that pile up on your utility bill every month, you get to write those off on your federal taxes. So you can deduct all that from your federal taxes. And, it's not going to solve every problem, but if every single thing we can do to provide a little bit of relief, I want to do it.
Here we have National Grid in this area, and I've heard many people come forward and say, they start as the bills keep going up. They look and they go, "Why is it so high this month?" Did you know my delivery fee is twice what I pay in the actual use fee?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard anyone talk about a tax, and I've reviewed the bill, and I can't say I ever remember seeing a tax in there. What are you referring to?
Yeah, so two things. So first, you're right. I think the delivery charges, so your utility bill is basically made up of three things, right? So you're going to have your delivery fee, and we should talk about that because I really do think that is a main driver of what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
The delivery fee is the fee you're paying to get the energy brought to your house. And then you got a supply charge, which is the energy that you're actually using. That fluctuates quite a bit based on the market. And then the last piece of it is you're going to have your taxes and fees and your mandates. And it is, I don't blame you for not seeing it clearly, because these bills can be I think they're designed to be incredibly difficult to parse out. But there's state taxes, there's state fees, there's state mandates. A lot of it is based on, some of the green energy initiatives. All of that stuff is built into your bill. What we would say here, and I've seen estimates. We had a study. One of the studies we looked at said it could be as much as $100 on a $250, $300 bill.
Yeah.
Depending on your usage and so forth. So that adds up. And what we would do is say you don't have to pay a federal tax on that. But the delivery charges, that's a real problem here. Like I've had folks who they're turning off all the lights. They're literally using flashlights at night. They've taken their energy usage down to just about nothing. They've done all this efficiency stuff, weatherized their homes, insulated the house, and they're still getting crushed with these huge bills. And it's because the delivery charges are so high. And the reason the delivery charges are so high is because that's how these foreign corporations are making their profit. If they put money into the utility company at, call it, 4%, they're able to take that money back out at a 10% return on equity. And so they're just churning cash through our community, and it's making them profitable, and we have to pay the price for it, and it's got to stop.
If I'm correct, your bill would be a tax deduction. So you could use the money you spend on the additional money you're spending on utilities as a deduction on your taxes.
That's right.
But hold on. Earlier you said the tax would be deductible, because that's two different things, though. The tax?
No, it's not.
Go ahead.
No, you get a bill. You get a bill in the mail from your utility company.
Let's say it's $400.
Okay, it's $400. And the bill says, let's call it $100 to make my math easier. That's early in the morning. Okay, it's $100. And the bill says you owe us $40 for the delivery charge. So you got to pay for all the infrastructure that's bringing the energy to your house. We're going to charge you $40 for that. And this month you used, let's say, $45 in actual energy. So we're going to charge you another $45. Now you're up to $85. And then you got to pay taxes and fees and mandates and all. So
there are taxes on. I got to look at on my bill.
And we're going to charge you, let's say, $15 for that. So you just paid $15 in taxes and fees and mandates to the state. And what I'm saying is, when you go pay your federal taxes, you can deduct that $15.
I see. And there's surcharges too for the nuclear program and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
all that stuff. Yeah, all of that stuff. So all the mandates that are coming out of Albany, all the taxes, all the fees. What I'm saying is, add up that stuff at the end of the year, and I'm going to let you deduct it from your federal taxes.
Well, every little bit helps.
At the pump, I'm going to start delivering. I'm going to start asking for a delivery fee. I'm going to start charging the gas station for pumping my own gas.
Right. Do it. And charge.
See what happens.
Yeah, seriously.
And by the way, I think all men use a flashlight at night, because you would not want to wake up your wife. So you cannot. That's
what she tells you, Bill.
That's how I've lived my entire married life. I did not know.
I'm usually the one now. Like I'm in bed before. My wife, she likes to she likes to take a little time at the end of the day to watch like terrible reality TV shows like Love Island and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm usually the one in bed, and then like she'll come in and just like turn on all the lights.
Floodlights come on. There's
chaos in there.
Music playing, setting up the alarm. It's like somehow I sleep through all that.
And then our 3-year-old now, since August, and this I don't know if this will end at any point, but since last August, our 3-year-old around midnight, 1 a.m, every night like clockwork, he gets in bed with us, and it's like sleeping with a drunk octopus.
Oh yeah, Trust me.
That's a great way to describe it too.
Yeah,
I gotta remember that line. Mike says so. The fuel charges, similar to gas charges, are the higher amount that is charged, the more money that goes to the state and federal government. And then on your comments, he says, it feels like the dysfunction is so bad between the parties that the House is on fire and the two parties are trying to figure out which side you put the salad fork on. And they're not worried about the fact that they're all going to die. It is, I almost feel like there's an opening, but there's an opening in the president's, in the presidency, the office of the presidency, to say, listen, we're going to change things. We're going to take out. It was interesting because we had a John Mannion's opponent in this week, and she said he voted against farmers. Well, that was part of another bill.
Right.
It was part of the big beautiful bill, and everything gets crammed into these bills. It would be nice to have clean bills.
Yes.
It would be nice
Stand alone.
again that Congress that they legislate based on what's good for America, not what makes the other side look bad. There is an opening that would be refreshing, I feel.
Oh, totally. Yeah, or even just like America definitely, or just like look at the community you represent and ask what is in the best interest of my community, and introduce legislation based on that, vote that way. Again, I never held office before. I've been in this job for a little over a year. I just don't see myself as a politician based on like where I came from. And my thing is, it's true. Like a bill gets introduced here, a bill comes to the floor, and all the Republicans, they've got the majority now, and so it's like, hey, we have to vote for this, and here's how it's going to make the other side look bad. And the first question too many people ask is, which political party is this good for? And instead of, is this good for my district? And so I talked during the campaign. I used to say I want to bring upstate New York values to Congress. It sounds, but that's a real thing. Like around here, most people aren't. The first question most people have isn't, what's your political party? How'd you vote in the last election? It's, how's your family doing?
Right.
How bad was your utility bill last week?
And you would agree that it's not just Republicans doing this. When the Democrats get control, they'll do the same thing. It's time for someone to break this trend.
100%.
Yeah.
We're already, and the Democratic Party is already doing it. I mean, you look at it's like knee-jerk opposition to stuff that Republicans introduced just because Republicans introduced it. Republicans knee-jerk opposition to stuff Democrats introduced just because Democrats introduced it. And I'm just trying to roll up my sleeves and find work I can do across the aisle.
All right. We appreciate it, Congressman Josh Riley. We'll do it again. Thanks so much.
All right. I'll come back on after the Mets win a game.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's going to be tonight, so we'll see you tomorrow. All right. All right. Thanks.
See you guys. Thanks.
Wishful thinking on my part, but I do believe they win tonight. Ryan Noble's coming up, another Mets fan in distress. We'll speak with him in a second.
I have some comments. You want them before or after the break?
Okay. I'll break.
So, I'm looking for it here. I can't remember who said it, but Steven says it's time for both Bill and Jeff to become Yankees fans. I guarantee you that's not going to happen.
True.
Not going to happen. Joe says they're doing the same thing with the Utica water bill. The taxes cumulatively are more than the usage fee.
Yep.
Chuck Lester says, if the lunatic Lib Dems win the midterms, you can kiss the USA goodbye. Chuck, I got news for you. Democrats are going to win in the midterms. I don't think there's any question about it.
And I'm not sure I love where we're going right now, Chuck. Just take a look, and a reality look, a real look. No parties involved. It ain't good right now.
This is on the bathroom issue. Lance and Lee, this is about bathrooms being open in parks. Lance and Lee says, just an observation. Beatrice keeps giving reason after reason why the parks should stay closed. Uticans pay a lot of taxes for parks, staff, and police patrols. Watching his actions lately, he seems to be getting more miserable and bitter by the day. It might be time to step down before he really becomes the guy yelling, "Get off my lawn!"
Now, the other day, he said that was me.
That is, if that's not already happening. I guess I
don't feel
haven't
that would
seen
be-
the Beatrice
I don't-
excuses
I don't
yet.
feel that way.
I don't think so either, but maybe I missed something. He also said, ask Beth, if they found a couple of needles in the restrooms at the farmer's market, would they close the bathrooms there permanently?
That would not be a farmer's market decision. The bathrooms that we have access to are in the train station, which are public access in a transportation
Right,
hub,
right.
and that's the property on the county property. So,
But
and
my-
I'm not. And then, I mean, the building's open 7 days a week. It is closed for about 6 hours overnight every night, from 10 p.m. to about 8 hours, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. There's security on staff 100% of the time the building is open. I'm not saying that hasn't happened. I don't know how
I
it's
think
been handled.
he's trying to make a point,
Yeah,
and obviously the answer to that is you wouldn't, and nor should it be. I hate to say this, I'm probably with Lance and Lee on
And
this
Katie?
topic, and maybe on.
You know what?
I'm just saying.
I think I'm in that same basket.
If it's a bathroom and the park is open, the bathroom should be open.
Right. Or at a minimum, you provide a porta potty. There needs to be a place for
Something.
people to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. If,
Yeah.
if you want
Yeah.
people to go and enjoy the parks, again, it sounds like an off-the-wall thing, but I believe if you look this up, there have been cases before where people got arrested for exposure in a park because there were kids playing and someone's peeing behind a tree.
There are bad people in this world. It is going to happen.
Correct.
I think could be a transgender, somebody dressing up who's a man dressing up as a woman. Are we going to argue about that? If the moon comes falling out of the sky on top of the bathroom, well, we can't have a bathroom there. What if the moon falls? I mean, please.
I have two more quick. Angelo, actually a fellow umpire. Good morning, Ange. He says, just to let you know, in Major League Baseball history, no team has
ever
made it to the postseason.
Made it to the playoffs after losing 12 in a row.
He says, hopefully the Mets can make history. Hopefully we can make history. So let's go, Ange. I didn't know you were a Mets fan.
And by the way, that's why I drink vodka. I'm a Mets fan.
Ray in Rome sounds pretty impressed this morning. He says, this is very impressive. Constantino has the backing of 2 convicted felons, Trump and Stone, and a disbarred lawyer, Rudy Giuliani.
I'll leave that one alone and tell you that right now at Steve Pani Mazda, as they wind down their New Year, New Mazda sales event this month, they have 23 new 2025 Mazda CX-5s in stock to choose from. Can you repeat what I just said, Jeff? Can you repeat it?
They have, I don't know how many 2025s in stock to choose from.
Thank you. Take advantage of 1.9% APR financing, new 2025 Mazda CX-5s. These 23, and it might be 22 after yesterday, on the lot right now at 1.9% APR financing, 0.9 on the turbo models. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. Ricky Z and everybody at Steve Pani Mazda. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Pani Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. What do you want me to do here, Davey? You do want me to break?
But he said play a commercial, please.
Okay, Ryan Nobles in 2 minutes and 33 seconds on WIBX.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-342-0393 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-342-0393. That's 800-342-0393. What do you have to lose? Call 800-342-0393. Again, 800-342-0393.
Something old is new in the Village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
At Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, we are dedicated to helping you understand your benefits and how to use them. It's one of the reasons why, for the third straight year, we have been named #1 in customer satisfaction among Medicare Advantage plans in New York and #1 for ease of doing business by J.D. Power. We were named most trusted, too. We remain committed to giving you high-quality coverage and the best possible Medicare experience. Learn more at medicare.excellusbcbs.com. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
He's a Bills fan. He's a Mets fan. He knows how to lose. Ryan Nobles. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning.
President Trump would say he's also a Democrat. He's an expert loser.
I am not a Democrat.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw that at you, Ryan. I was just spinning off on the Trump stuff. That's all.
Yes, I get it. I honestly had not been paying that close attention to the Mets because of my Buffalo Sabres are doing so well.
Oh, my God. The Sabres are killing it right now.
Although they came up short last night.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Okay. But what's happening in Queens is not great, and I don't know. Lost season, it seems already.
Oh, my God, it does.
Not even through April. Yeah.
I mean, I've never normally I get through the All-Star break, but I'm not sure I get to. I don't think we're going to make it to Memorial Day.
So I pay for the MLB.TV so I can stream the out-of-market games, and I normally just pay for the whole season. I did that. I always pay for the whole season right at the beginning as opposed to paying month for month. And now I'm wishing I'd taken the month-to-month option because I don't know how.
Well, let me ask you, how much does that MLB work? How much does it cost?
It's actually, I think, maybe one of the best deals in sports. It's $140 for the entire season, and you get every single Major League game except for I can't get Nationals or Orioles games, but every single Major League game, $140 for the whole year.
Wow, that is a good deal.
It's like a quarter of the price of the NFL ticket, which I also pay for.
I don't think you can get a ticket just to go to the game for $140.
No,
so,
yeah.
All right.
I mean, I love watching baseball, so it's not that bad of an investment, but it's hard to watch right now for sure.
By the way, it was good to see you hosting the Weekend Today show last weekend.
I'm going to be back this Saturday morning as well, so tune in again.
Good for
I'm
you.
Looking forward to it.
You know, I've heard there's an opening there. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Listen, as things stands right now, if they ask me to do it, I'll show up and do it. But that's all I've been promised at this point. But we'll see what happens.
All right. I'm just saying. Okay.
That's how I got this gig, actually.
Yeah. That's right. That's absolutely right. All right. So I saw you doing the story on the elephant. What is the elephant story this morning?
I'm actually standing in front of the zoo right now, yes. So the elephant, for the first time in 25 years, a baby elephant was born at the National Zoo. It's a huge breakthrough in their conservation efforts.
Wow.
We got to go meet the baby elephant yesterday. Today's the first day that the elephant will be on display for the entire public, and it's actually a remarkable story. The elephant is just unbelievably cute. Like, you're not prepared for how cute it is when you come in and see it. It's 500 pounds, but somehow is still itty bitty, which it doesn't make any sense. But just when in comparison to its adult counterparts, it's just incredible. But
yeah.
One of the interesting things that happened is that, and the zoo was prepared for this. Sometimes the mothers don't connect with their babies, and that can be dangerous because a baby elephant is very similar to a human baby, almost a human elephant, in that it needs to be taught. It doesn't just pick things up, and like for instance, it needs to learn how to use its trunk, which is its most important limb. And if it doesn't have an adult elephant to teach it how to do that, it makes it very difficult for it to develop and mature. But luckily, they had another elephant who, in the past, had served as kind of a surrogate aunt for other elephants. And they introduced little Lin Mai to Swarna, is the name of this aunt. She's not a biological aunt. And she took to her right away and has been taking care of her right from her birth. And we got to see her interact with Swarna. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
And she's doing all the things she needs to do. She eats every 2 hours, just like a human baby would. And she has they have this baby elephant formula that they ship in from Australia. And it's basically like the size of a 2-liter bottle of soda.
Wow.
And it's got a nipple on it, and we watched her eat yesterday. It's about the cutest thing in the world, and she sucks that thing down in like 2 minutes.
That is
unbelievable.
wild. That's wild. So the elephant's mom is a deadbeat, and
I don't want to go that far.
Thank God
She's
for
a
the
first-time mom.
All right. Thank God for the aunt to step in and take care of the kids.
There's a hope that when Lin Mai gets older, that they'll be able to reacclimate her, and the two of them will be able to reconnect. But
all right.
It's the zoo was prepared for this. They knew that this could possibly happen, so they had backup plans in place. And it's not exactly how they wanted it to go, but it's going. It's working out okay.
All right, I want to throw in a little politics. We've got 7 minutes, 6 minutes. So some politics.
A zoo of a different kind. We'll talk about a different.
That is a zoo of a different kind. And interestingly, and I'm not sure how far this story goes, but it has hit nationally a little bit. I think Politico might have picked it up. President Trump has endorsed a guy by the name of Anthony Constantino in the Elise Stefanik's district. Now, you have Robert Smullen, who's former military, was in the Marines, has an unbelievable resume, and the president and Giuliani have endorsed this guy who has just been a bull in a china closet here, difficult to deal with. He's fought in this studio. He's fought in others. He's fought at county chairmanship meeting or the legislative meetings based on endorsements. He's part of the reason why the president pulled Elise Stefanik from the ambassadorship, because it was so much of a zoo here, using the zoo reference. And now he has endorsed this jamoke, in my personal, constitutionally, I have the right, based on the Constitution, to have that opinion. Just making it clear. He endorses this guy. I don't get it.
Well, this is what's really frustrating. The Republicans that run the congressional committees they are already facing an enormous uphill challenge to defend their majority.
And this makes it harder.
A hill that got even steeper last night after Virginia overwhelmingly voted to change their congressional districts and potentially net an additional 4 seats for Democrats. You do not want to have to even worry about a seat in upstate New York, maybe one of the most rural state seats in the entire country. It's a massive district, and it is as red as it comes. And the idea that you would put up a candidate who in any way, shape, or form could make that seat vulnerable just gives headaches to the national Republicans that are trying to hold on to their majority.
Yeah.
And what the president did here was he went against the advice of
everybody,
of his national folks. He went against the advice of the state level folks, the county chairs who had invested in Smullen. And it is just a frustrating situation. And you have somebody who's one candidate who has all the bona fides of somebody who's prepared to take on the responsibility of being a member of Congress. And then you have somebody that, objectively is kind of a political newcomer who's really, as far as I can tell, his only real claim to fame is that he put up that sign
Yes,
that
the
caused
big-
all this
yeah.
controversy,
Yep.
and that got Trump's attention. That Trump loves that kind of stuff, and for whatever reason, that is something that stood out to Trump, and Trump decided this guy's 100% loyal to me. That's my only concern, so that's who I'm going to endorse.
Wow.
And so it completely flips that primary upside down in terms of Smollen's future, because the Republican primary voters just listen to whatever Donald Trump says, and that's going to make things very difficult for Republicans. I mean, I still think it's still the Republican seat to lose, but now, Bill, they're going to have to invest money.
They're going to,
invest time and resources in places that they could be using in Mike Lawler's district, for instance, in the Hudson Valley, which is very vulnerable, but still winnable for Republicans.
Right.
So it's got to be really frustrating.
I asked this earlier, and I'd like your reaction, Ryan. I do think maybe part of the equation is that Constantino at least claims to have a big bankroll, and maybe he's willing to self-fund as opposed to maybe Robert Smollen, and he thinks if he can get this guy to fund his own campaign, he can spend resources elsewhere. It's just
They're still going to have to spend money. Yeah.
I would not say that involved any of President Trump's calculations in terms of his endorsement, is what I would say.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
I think that it was a blind loyalty test for him. He trusts Rudy Giuliani. I'm sure Giuliani got in his ear about this. If this guy can self-fund, which I think, from what I've been able to tell, there is some question about that, like how much of his own skin he's willing to put in the game, and how much skin he has available to put in the game. That certainly would help them, but the idea that there's not going to be any sort of national resources that are going to have to be devoted to
and there is going to be anyway.
There will be.
regardless of who
And
that-
here's
yeah.
I've got about 2 minutes. Here's the problem. There's a very strong Democrat who is running.
There's a legitimate Democrat.
A legitimate
Right, yeah.
who could easily be a Republican. He's a farmer. He talks logically. He's no big fan of the last 10 years, Democratic movement in the last 10 years. He speaks well, and no matter whether it's Smollen or Constantino, he's got a formidable opponent. And now, if it is Constantino, and there's arguing within the party, to me, it just opens the door for him, and there are a lot of independents in that district.
Yeah, especially in a year where the momentum is on the side of Democrats. Right? Democrats are enthusiastic. Democrats are excited. Republicans are not. And so that all those things make it more complicated.
Make it harder.
And that's why you want the best possible candidate going forward in a race like this.
Ryan, we're out of time. We'll do it again. Nice elephant story, and we appreciate your insight.
We'll run again in like 2 minutes on the
All
Today
right.
Show, so watch again.
And
All
a
right,
little
you
tip,
missed it.
a little tip for you. The Mets win tonight.
All right, we'll see.
All
We'll
right,
see.
okay.
I don't have any confidence in that, but okay.
Don't, please. All right, thank you. By the way, Lance, I don't know who that was. Lance and Lee, a big question. Will Zecca and Rozier now get behind Constantino because of the endorsement? That is a very good question. Beth, are you're off right now in terms of
we're actually off for a month now. This is our between the winter and summer break. We're letting the farmers get out in the field and do what they do, and we are back on Memorial Day weekend, the 23rd. Outdoors behind the train station.
Memorial Day weekend.
In
All
our
right.
summer position to launch summer 2026.
Thank
Open
you.
restrooms.
We're gone.
From the WB Paint Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
Iran is disrupting more shipping. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Just hours after President Trump extended the ceasefire to Iran indefinitely, it appears that Iran is already breaking it, opening fire on at least 3 vessels in the Strait of Hormuz and commandeering 2 of them.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the White House, where there's no Trump reaction yet.
Iran's state broadcaster says the 2 vessels are currently inside Iran's territorial waters, being held for inspection of their cargo, documentation, and related records.
This comes days after the U.S. military took control of an Iranian Iranian cargo ship trying to evade the American blockade still in place around Iran's ports. 28 ships have been turned away. The president extended the ceasefire to give Iran time in the negotiations trying to work out a deal to end the conflict. And now, an update on the attempts to stop Russia's war in Ukraine.
Ukraine's top diplomat says a face-to-face meeting between Presidents Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin could inject new momentum into the peace process. More than 4 years after the full-scale invasion, it would be the two leaders' first in-person summit. Kyiv is asking Turkey to facilitate the talks. President Zelensky has accepted an unconditional ceasefire demanded by President Trump, but the Kremlin has refused.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Virginia Republicans hope the state Supreme Court undoes what voters did yesterday, challenging the approval of a congressional redistricting that could flip 4 seats Democrat in the November elections.
Democrats